then only have like a couple lines.
Yeah.
So it's like you'll just be reading like he has like.
Oh, he's gonna eat.
He says like two things. He says also like two things. So like it's okay. And you'll have a couple of those like.
I decided for this. Now not.
Yeah.
Do I put it like right here?
Who you're asking?
Maybe up, like at the
here?
top. Yeah.
Yeah.
Y'all can't tell my hands are shaking.
You got it.
If you puke, I'll puke with you out of solidarity.
Out of solidarity? Please?
Yeah, no, I will. I'm so nervous.
Okay, Alvin. Oh my gosh, turn it off.
I'm trying to.
You're canceled.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. So the labels are in the right position.
Billy dies.
Yeah, definitely.
Not the ha-ha. I'm gonna do that every time you die.
What humor are you doing?
So many times. You do like a dramatic.
What kind of humor you doing?
Well, you just have like a crossroads. So pretend to like get shot at. Is my chain also in here?
No, it's in my bag.
Oh, okay.
Because I didn't want to bring it to school with your jacket to school with me. So I got Patrick bring it.
All right.
I'm actually happy you brought this because I think it's
Good
gonna be
night.
tonight. But I didn't bring
You
a jacket.
practiced?
Yeah, we practiced.
There's only one shot at this.
Like, y'all practice, I did not.
One
so.
shot.
Yes, you did.
I did. I practiced yours last night.
Or last night was
The
crazy.
script so that they could like.
Do it, yeah, read
But
it.
like, not a formal practice. I don't think anyone actually
I mean, it does help if yours is shorter.
did. That is true. Mine's only 45 minutes.
Yeah.
Dang.
I actually, I signed up for.
I was writing a feature, Patrick, please. He's just mad because he used to have the least lines and then my narrator got sick, so now he has the most lines.
Yeah, I had to warn Derek. I was like, by the way, bring a water bottle. You're gonna be reading the stage
The
directions.
stage directions. Yeah.
Do you know? They don't have to say the name of the character before they speak. You
No,
just
no, no, you
speak.
just speak.
Cool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
you
I don't
just
remember
speak.
how they did that last year. Very nice. Tiger Blast. Are you a white memory now?
Actually, it's a thermoflask from Costco.
Oh, nice. Okay. That's a cute belt, by the way.
Thank you.
It matches everything, including your water bottle.
Yeah, I wanted to look cute because I didn't do makeup today, so I'm like everything else needs to be put together.
Okay.
Even the bracelets.
Oh, cute.
Yeah. But I love it. They both have like a cool color palette today.
It's gonna be like really hot in here.
Right.
I should not wear a sweater, but that's okay.
Fan yourself with one of the extra scripts.
They gave me 14 scripts. I asked for 9.
That's a waste of paper, but actually, I want a signed copy so I can play it.
So that when I get rich and famous, you can sell it and make money.
I will not do that. I'm gonna keep it.
I'll give you 2, one to sell and one to keep.
Oh, okay. Thank you for respecting the hustle.
Of course.
Yeah. Okay, all kids,
Oh my
the
gosh, we're
labels up? Yeah?
Yeah, all the labels are up.
Have your other actors
Who's
said
Adana?
I don't know, man.
That's funny.
Adana's not here yet.
Because I
Right.
was gonna be like, oh, I could read figures, but when you said your narrator dropped out, I was like, I could not.
Even I suggested that. I was like, Tyler can read.
I was gonna research.
As an ally.
I could
How
read
do
as a
I
character.
explain to Derek where the JC is?
It's in the middle.
It's the big middle, the big
Yes.
building.
Does he not have Google Maps?
Just tell him to go to the theater center and then look confused, and then the ladies will point him in the right direction like we did.
So true.
Maybe spell out Johnson Center. Does he know? I don't know.
No. No, there's an old lady said it was nice.
Old lady.
It
Oh, like
was
on the way here?
At the theater center. Or not the,
At the theater center?
at the, whatever.
Where?
That's what it, the theater, what was it called?
I don't know. The
Oh,
cinema?
Harris Theater. That's where we were at.
Yeah.
Why'd you go to Harris Theater?
Cause it's a theater.
Okay. I definitely told you guys the Johnston Center.
Okay,
And I
well,
said
you
cinema?
got 2 or 3 steps into your directions and I was already lost.
Awesome.
So, oh
I forgot you were.
Yes, I don't go to the secret.
Yeah.
I guess I'll sit over by Patrick.
I'm gonna be a junior for like 2 years.
That's fair. I would be a senior for another year if I could.
You actually, if you get all your,
Cause I don't wanna
you
sit
apply
on
for
this side.
graduation, right?
Yeah, I'm done.
I was about to say, because I think you just keep taking credits.
Well, let's hope Nisa gets
This
here.
married to
She's stuck in traffic.
married.
She's coming from Maryland.
Oh,
Good.
Oh, no.
If I have to read for Nisa, guys,
Perhaps.
it's going
In
downhill,
an
everyone.
emergency, I can read.
So
And
what
you
time?
can be gay.
So what
Yeah, I
time?
can be gay.
So, what time period do you want the script language to be?
It's normal 2023.
That's a great question. I think we are in 2020.
That's me and ours.
There's also a millennial accent, other accents, or the old time accent.
Did you finish? Oh, shit. You didn't finish.
I suggest an ancient accent because it's mermaids and it's fantasy.
No thanks. I can't write that. I'm so scared. It's hot in here.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, it's just the air conditioning. You look good.
Fuzzy sweaters and I wore this because this is what I'm wearing in the music videos.
Oh, cute. I would say this was my favorite sweater. I was like, maybe be a good look.
Be a good look.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm going out to the music videos after this to watch myself on the big screen. Okay.
Oh,
It just doesn't get better today.
I have a really cute sweater. This is so scary. I can. And the way they hate us, the way we're in this random room.
Yeah, until 4:30 when the actual like the screenings start at 4, so nobody's gonna be here.
Oh my god.
Like everybody's gonna leave.
Mine starts at 3.
No, literally, 'cause I was already like, I don't want to talk about Tarantino.
Because I told my
We
actors,
should talk about
they
Tarantino.
looked up, okay. Hi.
Yes.
You got your lines all highlighted.
Oh, thank you.
You have like 4, but I didn't want to read, so
Oh,
you're right.
okay, thank you.
Alicia, did you
Iris.
answer him?
Hi.
Yeah, I did.
Hello, Iris.
How are you? I'm good.
Okay, you said he was walking.
Yes, yes. So we stream like that. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
And it's
right
in
after.
here, right? Yeah, still in here.
It's just right after.
Oh,
Mm.
they're my favorite.
Mm.
If mermaids underwater, you will kind of hear a gurgling sound. Because they're underwater.
Alicia, I'm gonna post the script of this.
It's hard to do.
Yo, chill out.
It's just the front.
I'm gonna have a panic attack.
I'll do it with the solidarity.
I don't think it's out of solidarity anymore.
It's really because I'm also feeling it.
When this girl said that she's stuck in
Use a
traffic.
strong voice.
No. What part does she play? How?
Anything else?
Convince
Lisa,
the people.
which is like the second.
Make the
Girl main
people
character.
feel the story.
Okay. Do you have any other pointers? I've actually never narrated before. You seem like you look like you seem like a person who knows a lot about things.
I don't think they're doing a
So,
Q&A.
did you have
Oh,
any
okay.
pointers?
I thought they did, but I think it was just because it was just her.
I'm just wondering.
We started at 8 p.m. and finished right as 8
No,
a.m.
you do.
It was like I know nothing
Like
about
when
anything.
you
I'm
go
writing a
outside of a
sequel,
lake,
like a
you
full-length
recite.
sequel about the building.
You
So
practice.
I still started.
Yeah.
It didn't work.
So no stuttering.
Are you reading?
It's the hard part of communication.
Oh, you're like, I'll be reading
Hers
first.
is next. Hers
Yeah,
is next.
mine's right after.
Okay.
I'm so scared. Your script is highlighted.
I know.
I'm gonna throw up.
Like, stop. Are you reading?
I don't know. Lisa is on her way, but stuck in traffic.
Another classic thing is like, once upon a time,
Okay. What time do you
somewhere,
1:30. Yeah, so I'm like praying.
kind of like the
Okay.
classic
The
fairy
good
tale.
thing is that she's in like the second half.
Yeah, right?
So like,
Well,
we
she
can
can
just
get in
sit
there.
down, right?
Sometimes it can be funny.
I thought we were starting at 1. I was like,
Maybe
oh,
try.
oh man.
There's one called Paradise Calls
I'm
for
dead.
Neverland.
I came
like
here
in
like
Yellow
you read it
Submarine.
11:30, thinking there'd be like a whole crowd of people.
Okay.
Whoa.
Did you
make
make
that
that
All that I know.
11:30.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay.
because I had a
Thank you so
Zoom
much,
class,
buddy.
like,
Oh.
that came and said, they said come first come first serve. I was like, I'll get here, and then.
Also, they said
One other
the says
person.
it's sold out.
Yeah, Mason
So, like-
said there's nobody else, but a lot of people just signed up for everything,
Oh.
too.
I'm not gonna
so-
lie.
I think this is the only thing.
I actually signed up for this. I wasn't thinking.
You're
And I was like,
skewing
oh,
the numbers.
That's funny because I did not, and I was like, wait, should I have to watch videos that I was, when I came in, I was like, I'm one of the readers.
Listen, Queen, you have my ticket. That's all I gotta say.
Cool, cool.
Because, yeah.
What else?
Oh, this is not.
Can we keep this after?
Why did I ask you to read? I'm
Right,
so
baby,
dumb.
because you
Right.
made me. That's it, Tyler. Professor Krause, hi.
Maybe because I thought you were doing your own.
Oh,
reading.
yeah, I did kind of, yeah, I was like, maybe.
Oh,
But I
okay.
never did it. I should have, because look, it's so nice.
Yeah, it's
Right?
so nice.
Hello, Adana. Hello, Adina. Hello, Adina. Make sure that the main character's voice is the same voice.
I'm telling you, why
The
is
main
it
character's voice, like,
The
I'm so
I'm
They
gonna go try to
too.
find an extra and one of
They in the two.
Professor, I'm nervous now. I didn't know you were coming.
I mean, you are the
I'll gladly
Hello.
sit down.
You know her?
Oh,
Yes.
oh boy, I just love reading. I hope I don't mess up at all.
Oh, man.
Ooh.
Probably Quentin Tarantino now?
Oh, yes.
Aren't you like a comp sci major?
Yeah, I don't read.
Oh, yes, you can't read.
Wait, you're a pom sci major?
Yeah, I also know that this university.
What's yours?
Yeah, I saw there was flyers posted online.
Right.
And I
No,
thought,
Tyler was just saying that. Do you know Tyler?
Yeah,
Do you
we're
know?
partners in
And I still haven't given you back.
That's like,
Hey,
hi.
yes I did.
Okay.
And I was like, this is so great. I have to write yours. And then I started reading it, which is really good by the way.
Okay.
And then I was like, I don't know, my ADHD. I'm gonna get to
I know
you
it took me so long to do
even
that.
if, before I graduate. It's hot, y'all. There's extra scripts. Do you want the extra scripts?
Are there?
Yeah, right there. Y'all need. Like, what? Oh, for the yeah. I was like, why would I need? Yeah. Can you give me one of those bad boys, please?
Here you go.
Thank you. Because
Y'all need any readers? Or they? Readers. Readers to fill in.
reader?
I don't know.
I don't. Yeah, I would ask Alejha. One is on campus. The other one, I'm not. She's in the
I just want to make sure y'all.
Yeah, she's in
Kids are reading. We'll see.
I think Alejha's getting one of the readers right now. Hopefully. You want me to do the rest? It's your month though.
My mom?
Yeah.
I get one?
Yeah, it's A-P-I-Y.
Whoa.
I get one? That is so technically all of one. Except if we believe.
Wait, wait.
Slow turn. I didn't know you beat that. So, you know, it could be argued that every month is, you know what I'm saying? Anyways, what do y'all highlight?
All the parts where I have to speak.
Oh, they didn't highlight because the whole thing would be.
I know, right? Where's my freaking production?
3 more minutes until 1:30.
You know, I'm whispering this story right now.
Really?
Yeah. Oh man, I heard that you were an actor. I was a theater major. I did theater for like forever, and then I was like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to write, and so that's what I did. Well, now I'm scared because I don't know. I haven't acted, even though it's like reading. I don't know. Yeah.
You were a theater major?
I was.
I should have asked you. I don't know why.
Yeah, see?
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It's funny. It's like the
I
same
know.
like 5 people. Were
Like,
no,
right,
yeah.
Yeah, because I know we got some overlap. I don't know why I didn't realize you were an option.
Come on, Tyler,
I'm sorry.
hire me.
You should have told me you were a theater person.
And you wanted to be a writer?
Yeah.
See, I'm art major. I want to be a writer. But like,
You should do it. I like it. It's better. Well, I stopped. I don't know. Like, I was a theater major here, not to like talk about the other program because I love it, but also at the time that I was in it, there was a lot of stuff going down. So I was like, let me work by myself. You know what I'm saying? Oh my gosh, Quinn! What? Oh my God! Why didn't you say anything? You were just there lurking.
I'm
on the stage. So
No,
it's present enough.
How are you? I'm good. How are
Are you
you?
graduating this semester?
I am. Are you too?
Oh my god.
I know, right?
No, me too. I did not know you were graduating. I'm also graduating.
I don't. There's so many people that are graduating, but I'm like, what?
And also, like, I'm a
Plus
classes have been
narrative.
online, so it's wild, like,
You
seeing
see,
everyone in
see,
person.
I know.
it's fun,
Like,
it's
the rest, yeah.
narrative.
Yeah.
In the lab,
Cute. I'm glad I'm like
till the birth
graduating
of
in person and not
Christianity.
online.
Yeah.
I'm also
Was
like,
this
oh
to
no, I feel like I didn't really
overthrow
use a lot.
Me too. I'm like, oh
Like,
man,
that's
wait,
done.
wait.
Yeah, but another
What
semester,
verse was
please.
No, yeah.
This came from Spartacus.
Are you
Ooh,
still a
Spartacus.
theater major?
Great.
I'm a minor
1960.
because I had so many
Yeah.
credits, so I was like, let's turn this into
Yeah,
something.
exactly.
Before we
What are you studying?
film, I'm a screenwriter concentration.
That's so
That took a
fun.
while to come out, but yeah, I was trying to figure out. I was like, how do we say that? But yeah, oh, you're a theater.
I'm still a theater major.
Do you have a minor?
Very true.
Psychology.
That's very attractive. I just
But I am. I do too. I am. Right.
Do you have any? Do the both of you? Do you guys have any
50
after
seconds.
school? 50 seconds. Huh?
What? Alejha's not even here.
I know. Where's our director?
Alejha's coming first?
Yeah.
Okay. Where'd she go?
I know.
I'm not sure.
And your time. Okay, I'm Sam.
So fun. It's
What
like,
did you say?
Yeah, it is. Are you reading for anything else?
I'm reading for
I have plenty of time.
I don't think so.
Tyler, when do you go?
I'm at 3. Yeah.
3.
15
I'll be here. My whole class will be here.
Sweet.
For
So you
the
can watch it.
the whole class. Well, at least our professor. Huh?
Is Professor Brick's class?
Yeah. When does anybody
Yeah.
start?
I had to wait. I made so many of my friends read who have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love it
And I
though.
like a bigger
Force
person.
them.
who's in your other piece?
Who
else is in your
So
Yeah.
Gia will be
She
there.
said that she's
My
coming.
friend Mariah is playing Catherine. She did say she had a little bit of theater experience. And then, and the rest are not film majors. They're not involved in the program at all.
As long as you got like actors, like a voice.
Yeah, I got some main people. For the people with the most.
You're like the people who need it. You will be here.
Yeah, I have a couple lines, so I was like, yeah, it's fine. And I think Darren, who's reading here, is also reading in mine.
Nice. What are we gonna do, guys? What are we gonna do?
Alright, I haven't read this, so. I know the promise.
It's all right. It's all right. Let all that theater education let
Right.
it pour out, Clay. I know you have it.
Well, I'll learn the story as I go.
Right? You can go to program. Really?
Yeah,
That's so
probably, yeah.
smart. That's so. I was gonna. They need this. What?
Program.
Can you toss that over here?
You had this like
Right? I don't know. Toss on them refill. I'm a minor in athletics. I know.
I'm here now.
So it's mostly a book. So it looks like it'll be me. It's gonna be stuff.
You have to be a dog?
I do have to read.
Wow. I'm gonna be. Oh my gosh, hi.
I won't do that to you. I'll read from mine.
Can you
I
read?
mean, I only have 3 lines.
You wanna read?
So.
Wow. Are you sure it's highlighted?
Love that.
Oh.
Just confirm like how I say it. Husky and stuff. Adana.
What?
Thank you. That helps a lot.
Oh yeah.
Everybody got quiet.
We're projecting. We're projecting. Remember the
Yeah.
Oh, you're projecting? Last time we had microphones.
I mean,
Yeah, last time they had
wow, they're
microphones.
really skipping out. I'm not gonna hold you. Nobody signed up to be my partner for this, so.
Yeah.
The whole summer I've been
Yeah,
talking
but
for
no, last time they had like standing.
Yeah.
Wait, we're gonna wait like 5 more minutes.
No, fine.
I wanna wait for Professor Kimball.
No,
that is perfectly fine. I can take a
Just
breath.
take a
Or
breather.
you can
What
take a
is this
breath.
class? Professor Kimball.
Our professor.
Oh, we're
Our
not.
professor.
We're gonna give it just a few more minutes and we're gonna get started. Okay, you guys ready?
I know, I was,
I don't know about
Read
that.
the whole script.
what class is this?
You are?
Yeah.
Like, how many
They're
pages?
gonna have
That's exciting.
66.
Five.
Five. Not bad, not
This is already
bad.
capstone,
I like
okay.
this.
Yeah, it was great writing capstone. It had their professor Clifton. She like.
So this class was supposed to be
No, some of them are like, especially for a
Oh,
teacher,
but
like,
Professor Kimball.
No, I know, I was trying, but I was like, I can't
nice.
no, when I saw it yesterday.
Always
not
Heather
yesterday,
and Stuart,
when we
right,
got
Kimball?
yesterday, that's
I was like, it's gonna mess
Love
up.
that.
Yeah. So he's not even supposed to be a professor this
And I
semester.
feel like,
so he has
Because I was gonna take like a
you made it
screen
look
writing
like
class
an
tonight on Wednesday. And
Yeah.
Especially
yeah.
with like the, the
Yeah,
scene changes
because
and
he,
stuff.
it's,
Yeah.
that's the time of our capstone as well. So he was like, I can't teach your class because.
Alejha?
Alejha,
Yes.
hope this good is good.
Me too. Me too.
I've read it.
No, stop playing. Stop playing. You know it's good.
Hope that makes it into
Just run out and come back.
Just run out and I'll never come back, guys.
I highlighted yours. I don't know if I got everybody's. So, I definitely missed some of mine.
Oh, you missed some of your.
I really
I
did.
highlighted yours.
I was
so-
thinking.
I got all of yours too.
No.
Can I say something? I always wanted to do a stage reading, so this is like knocking it off my. Yeah, maybe I would be able to do two, but somebody didn't
I'm
ask
sorry,
me.
I didn't know.
They won't be named, but they are in this room, and if
I'm
everybody
sorry.
looks to their right.
Come out. You could have messaged me and been like, I want to read.
I didn't even know you were doing it.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
really cool though. Not yet. The day of. Yeah. So we're the
If
day
one of my friends doesn't show up, you can replace them.
Thank you. I'm
You know,
praying
if
somebody
you wanna
drops
read
out.
What I was gonna read, I only have 3 lines, but if you want to read them, show
of.
up.
I will be a star.
For real?
Those
I think you
lines.
should read it.
What is it? There are no what is it? There are no small roles.
There are no
only
small
small
roles.
acts.
Okay,
Only
sweet. You'll be
small.
my main character on TV.
Think.
Cool.
And I'm about to eat it.
Tyler's
I'm about to
script
chew
right
it
now.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just like, I'll hit you with mine.
Hello. Goodbye. See you later.
For real.
Thank you, everybody. No, because I'm not gonna be able to read now.
So funny.
Attention.
Okay, do I have to speak?
No, I'll do it.
You okay.
Thank you, everybody, for coming. This is the first of 2 stage readings that we're going to have today. Yes, we can clap.
Before we start.
Excellent. And I don't have everybody's name, so I'm going to let them introduce themselves. But this is Alejha Thomas's piece, and it is called, as you can see, Sunken Memories. Thank you very much for coming. This is our first event for this spring 23 Film Festival. We're thrilled that everybody's here and ready to go. We will have a break between this reading and the next one. The next one starts around 3. And there will be time for questions after this one's over. Okay? Alejha, just so that everybody knows here.
Hello, I'm Alejha. I wrote it. That's all I gotta say.
Okay. That's all you need to say. Your art will speak for itself.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Sunken Memories, written by Alejha. Exterior beachfront evening. Adana, 25, black woman with long braided hair, is closing up a lifeguard stand. She pulls out her phone as she's finishing up. The phone lights up with a text from her nanny.
Don't forget my candy. I'm having withdrawals.
Donna chuckles, shakes her head, and walks off the beach towards the boardwalk. Interior, hospital night. Adana walks into a hospital room and makes her way over to her nanny, Elizabeth, early 70s, lively but very skinny with sunken cheeks. Adana gives her a tight hug and then kisses off a tray of food in front of her.
Hey, baby. How was work? It was normal. Nobody drowned, so that's a plus.
Elizabeth chuckles.
Did you get to watch your shows today?
Barely. The ladies come in to run their tests and ask me stupid questions. I wanted to tell them to shut up and let me watch my shows. Why they always gotta come in when the movie gets good?
Madonna laughs as Elizabeth goes on her rant.
Nanny, they're just doing their jobs.
Well, can't they do their jobs an hour later when my shows are done?
Elizabeth continues to grumble under her breath. Madonna stifles another laugh.
Well, I have something that will make you feel better.
Elizabeth stops grumbling and quickly looks up. Madonna pulls out a bag of candy from behind her back. Elizabeth's hand shoots out to grab it, but Madonna holds the candy away from her reach.
Did you take your medicine today?
Madonna raises an eyebrow. Elizabeth scoffs.
Yes, Adonna. Stop worrying so much and give me my candy. This food is bland, you know? They don't season it.
I'll stop worrying when you stop giving me reasons to worry.
Madonna playfully sticks her tongue out. Elizabeth chuckles, shakes her head, and then throws a carrot at Madonna. Madonna gasps, and then she ends up lowering her hand with the candy. Elizabeth immediately grabs the candy bag. Donna's mouth drops as she throws the carrot back at Elizabeth. The two burst into laughter. Exterior, Nanny's Trinkets, night. Nanny's Trinkets sits on the corner of the street. It's surrounded by other beachfront shops that are closed. Streetlights line the sidewalk and dimly lit the area. Madonna unlocks Nanny's Trinkets and walks in, locking it again behind her. Interior, Nanny's Trinkets, night. The shop is dark aside from a light glow from the computer at the cashier desk. Madonna heads over to the cashier desk. A picture of a younger Adonna and Nanny sits on the desk. She opens the drawer and puts the set of keys inside. She sets her purse on the chair, then heads over to the room in the back. Interior, Nanny's Trinkets, hallway, continuous. Madonna heads up the stairs, passing the back door and multiple photos of her and her nanny mixed with pictures of beach/lighthouses and such. Interior living room, continuous. The living room is a faded out yellow color. There are a couple of minimalistic paintings on the wall. Donna enters the living room and takes off her shoes by the stairs. She walks over and sinks into the couch. She turns on the TV and starts watching. Interior, Donna's bedroom, later. Donna walks into her bedroom in pajamas with her hair up in a bonnet. Her room is very minimalistic, cream-colored walls with only a calendar hanging by her door. The calendar reads lifeguarding under Monday, Thursday, Sunday, and Nanny's Trinkets Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. She walks over to her bed and sits on the edge. She picks up the little box from her nightstand. She flips it over, starts winding it up, and opens the top to reveal a figurine of a mermaid and a man dancing. The melody begins to play from the music box. She stares for a second and then sets it back down. She gets under her covers and goes to sleep. Montage, dream, Paris. Interior, Adonna's living room. A younger Adonna, 8, and Elizabeth stand in Adonna's living room. The living room is a much brighter yellow, and the room is filled with different plants and pottery. Elizabeth is holding out an open music box to a young Adonna. The melody plays, and Adonna takes the box with wide eyes. Interior, hospital waiting room. Adonna, 16, sits in the waiting room of a hospital. The doctor comes out and calls Adonna's name. She goes back to talk to him. The only words that can be made out to the audience are unknown, disease, and long term. Exterior, here. Adonna 8 and Elizabeth sit on the bench of the pier sharing an ice cream and giggling as they watch the seagulls in front of them fight over a fry. Interior, Adonna's kitchen. Adonna, 18, stands in the kitchen over a bar which is littered with multiple different housing and hospitals. She sighs as she shuffles through the different papers. Exterior, ocean. Donna, 8, is swimming in the ocean close by the shore. She waves at Elizabeth from the ocean and then turns to show how she can dodge the waves by swimming into them. When she comes back above the water, she waves rigorously with a big smile on her face. Elizabeth waves back with a big smile on her face. Suddenly, Adonna gets pulled underwater. End dream montage. Interior, Adonna's bedroom, morning. Adonna jolts up from her bed, her face stained with tears. She rubs her eyes and gets out of bed. She does her morning routine of showering, brushing her teeth, washing her face, and getting dressed for her lifeguarding job. She grabs an apple for breakfast and heads out the door. Exterior beachfront day. Adonna sits atop a lifeguard stand watching people splash around in the water. Donna notices what looks like a person far out past the other people splashing in the water. She squints and blows her whistle to get their attention. The figure disappears. She pulls out binoculars, but there is no signs of anything in the water. A soft melody begins to play, sucking Adana into a trance-like state. Another lifeguard comes up to Adana.
Hello?
Adana doesn't answer. The lifeguard waves a hand at Adana's face.
Adana? Hey, you good?
The lifeguard shakes her, snapping her out of the trance. She turns to the lifeguard for a second.
Huh? Oh, hey. I swore I saw someone way out there.
She looks back out to the water.
No one would be out that far.
Yeah, you're right. It was probably just a fish or a bird.
Adana turns back towards the lifeguard.
I take it you're here to take over?
Yep, you are officially free to go home. Make sure you relax, Adana. I know how you are.
I'll have you know I'm actually going for a relaxing swim right now.
The lifeguard snorts. Adana waves and climbs down from the tower. She grabs her towel and makes her way towards the water. She picks a spot on the beach right in front of where she spotted the figure. She throws down her towel and makes her way to the ocean with ease. Exterior ocean continuous. She swims through the waves until she gets as far as she can without earning a whistle blow. She looks out to the same spot from earlier. There's still no sign of disturbance.
Maybe it was just a bird.
She sighs and lays back so she's floating on the water. She closes her eyes and allows herself to move back and forth with the waves. Exterior underwater continuous. A fishtail swoops under Adana's back and quickly disappears. Exterior ocean continues. Adana's eyes shoot open as she jolts up. She looks around above the water but can't see anything. She sticks her head underwater. Exterior underwater continues. It's blurry. The only thing Adana can make out is some seaweed. She goes back up. Exterior underwater continues. Adana rubs her eyes after coming up. She starts making her way out of the water.
I really need to get some sleep.
Interior grocery store, late afternoon. Adana walks around a grocery store throwing items into a cart. She looks at a list on her phone and starts pointing to each item, checking them off the list as she goes. She takes her cart to the register. As the cashier starts ringing up, Adana spots a familiar candy. She grabs 2 bags and sets them on the counter. Interior hospital, later. Adana and Nanny are cuddled together in a hospital bed. Nanny complains about the president's press conference interrupting her show. They laugh and share cake. Nanny falls asleep and Adana kisses her on the cheek and leaves. Interior, Adana's bedroom, night. Adana's sitting on the edge of her bed, putting her hair up into a bun. She sets her alarms for the next day and picks the music box up. Once she gets it winded up, she turns off her lights and lays down in bed. Exterior, ocean, day. Adana is swimming far offshore in the ocean. There's a nice ocean breeze blowing through her hair as she relaxes into the smell of the ocean air. She swims toward the nearby shoreline, treading through the water quickly and calmly. She begins to slow down, and it becomes harder for her to swim forward. Slowly, she is pulled under the water. Exterior, underwater, continuous. She tries to swim back up, but fails. She looks down to see one of her feet shackled with heavy chains that clink and they weigh her down. She pushes with the chain, trying to force it off her foot. As she struggles, she begins to hear the melody from her music box in the background. She starts to relax and close her eyes. She takes a breath in. Interior, Donna's bedroom, early morning. Donna's eyes shoot open as she gasps for air. She sits up in her bed and looks over to her clock on her bedside table. It reads 3:30 a.m. She sighs. Getting out of bed makes her way to the kitchen. Interior, kitchen, continuous. Donna walks over to her cabinet and grabs a glass. She fills her glass with water from the sink and takes a sip. As she turns back to her room, the same melody from her music box faintly catches her ear. Entranced, she sets her cup down on the counter and begins to follow the noise. When she gets to her stairs, she throws on her jacket, some flip-flops, and walks down out Nanny's Trinket's back door. Exterior, shore, continuous. Donna continues to follow the melody down the shore. In the distance, she sees a cave with a moonlit figure just inside the opening. She makes eye contact with the figure, and her eyes begin to drop, losing focus. In a daze, she takes a slow step forward. She shakes her head, snapping out of it, her eyes now wide and attentive. Wearily, she picks up her pace. The music's getting louder as she gets closer. Once she arrives, the mysterious figure is gone. She makes her way into the cave. Interior, cave, early morning. continues further into the cave. The music starts to blend into the background. She comes to a fork in her path. The right path is completely dark, while the left path has a weak glimmer of light. In the left path, she notices a figure once again. She rushes towards the left path, but the shadowy figure is gone. On the walls of the cave are different drawings of ships. One in particular catches her eye. It depicts a person falling from the ship. She runs her hand over them as she continues to walk towards the light. Suddenly, there's a splashing around in the distance, accompanied by a faint sound of chains clinking against each other. She walks faster down the path until she reaches a large lagoon dimly lit by glowing vegetation that shines through the water with coarse sand at its edges. She notices someone in the water. She gasps.
Hello?
No response.
Are you okay?
There is still no response. She moves closer towards the water, squinting her eyes to get a better look. Suddenly, the person's head disappears under the water. Madonna shrieks and jumps in after them. Exterior, underwater, continues. She opens her eyes underwater and tries to look for the mysterious person. She sees a glimpse of a light shining off scales of a giant fishtail that darts past her eyes. Quickly, she swims back up. Interior cave, early morning. She gasps for air, frantically looking around. She turns around and sees the person again. This time, she's able to make out their features. They have a chiseled face with long dreaded hair pulled back into a half-up ponytail. They are intensely staring at Adana with their piercing green eyes. They then motion for her to come closer. Adana proceeds to slowly swim towards them. Once the two are within arm's reach, the mysterious person wraps their hand around Adana's head and pulls her forward towards theirs. Adana tries to pull her head away, but fails. Their foreheads touch, and their eyes close. The water beneath them begins to bubble around them in a circle. The melody from before starts to become louder, and then there's a bright flash of light from below Adana. After that, everything goes quiet. Adana opens her eyes wide in disbelief. She fumbles in the water trying to back away. She falls back a bit, and a goldfish-like tail emerges from the water in front of her for a split second.
What was that?
The person looks at her and then leans backward to reveal a white fish-like tail. Adana's mouth falls open.
Who are you?
I am Imani.
Are you like a mermaid? Fish person?
We prefer the term siren.
We. There's more of you.
Of course. Our mother would like to see you. She has been awaiting your presence.
Adana shakes her head and starts to swim backwards toward the edge of the lake. Once her back hits the wall, she turns and pulls herself out of the water.
This can't be happening. It must be just another weird dream.
Once her tail is completely out of the water, her legs transform back, clothed. She looks down at her legs and up at Imani once more.
If you leave, it will take a toll on you.
Adana doesn't respond and gets up to run away. As she passes the cave, depictions have changed. The one with the person falling from the ship now depicts a person pushing the person off that ship. Adana doesn't notice this. Interior, hospital morning. Donna sits with Elizabeth as she watches her show. Once there's a commercial break, Donna turns to Elizabeth.
Hey, Nanny, how long have you lived by the ocean?
Since before I met your mother.
Have you ever seen anything strange in the ocean?
Strange. Like sea monsters?
Elizabeth lets out a laugh and shakes her head.
I never really go out to look at the ocean. I'm not the biggest fan of the water, you know?
Then why'd you stay here?
Too much of a hassle to leave. Plus, your mother, she loved the ocean.
Donna gives a soft smile at the mention of her mother.
Well, have you ever had a dream that felt super realistic?
Honey, I don't even remember falling asleep half the time.
Donna lets out a little laugh.
I guess that's fair.
Why?
Well, I just had this really weird dream about...
The commercial stops and Elizabeth's show starts back up.
Never mind. You should just finish your show. I should go open up the shop. I'll tell the nurses to give it an hour before they come in.
Elizabeth keeps her eyes on the television as she speaks.
You work too hard. I told you, sell that shop and move out of this town.
I couldn't leave you, Nanny. I love you.
Donna gives Elizabeth a hug and a kiss on the forehead.
Okay, baby. I love you too.
Interior, Nanny's Trinkets, morning. The inside on Nanny's Trinkets can be seen better now as the light streams through the many windows in the front of the store. The walls are a bright blue color. The shop is small and covered with shelves filled with small handmade shell trinkets. There's a glass filled with different types of pottery and fancy drinking glasses. display. Donna sits behind and checks the checkout counter on the computer. The store is empty. Bored, Donna starts to look up sirens on the computer. Animated movies and books come up from her search, but she can't find anything that speaks to what she saw in her dream. She sighs and closes the page.
It was just a dream, Madonna.
The bell from the front door snaps her out of her thoughts as the couple walks in.
Hello, welcome to Nanny's Trinkets. Let me know if you need anything, or if you're looking for anything.
As she talks to the couple, Donna sees a figure standing outside the window, similar to the one by the cave. The family bike passes and the figure disappears. The couple waves Donna over to help. Donna shakes her head and goes over to help. As she gets the couple checked out, she's hit with a sense of dizziness and grips the counter.
That'll be $15.82.
The man hands Donna a 20. Donna starts to count out the change, but her vision gets blurry. She manages to get the change together and hands the man his change with shaky hands and an apologetic smile.
$4.18 is your change. Have a wonderful day.
Donna's voice cracks. She licks her lips and tries to clear her throat. She grabs her water from under the register. She gulps the entire water bottle down. It's not enough. So she begins to stumble over to the drink fridge. She pulls out another water and downs it. When she's done, she licks her lips. She grabs one of the bigger waters and downs that as well. Her breathing becomes heavy, and she clumsily rushes over to the front door. She flips the open side closed and then makes her way upstairs. Interior, Donna's bathroom, continuous. Donna stumbles into her bathroom, breathing heavily. She stops at the sink mirror and notices her face has gotten extremely dry. Her skin is cracked in some places and almost peeling off. She looks down at her hands and reveals that they're doing the same thing. She quickly turns the water on in the bathtub and gets in. Once her feet have been submerged under the water, her tail returns and her face and hands return to normal. She lets out a sigh of relief, but is soon replaced by a gasp when she realizes her tail has returned. She starts to move her tail around in shock, but also in curiosity. Interior, cave, night. Donna sits at the edge of the lagoon. The bottom of her tail is in the water.
Imani,
She leans forward to look in the water, but there is no sign of them.
Imani, I'm ready to meet your mother mermaid, Siren Lady.
No response. She sighs and submerges herself into the water. Exterior, underwater, continues. She begins to swim down to the bottom of the lagoon. There's a little hole that leads out to the ocean. She goes through that hole and is met with an ongoing sight of sand. She decides to swim straight forward until she's met with a large drop-off. She looks down into the dark abyss, contemplating whether or not she should swim down there.
Imani, are you down there?
No response. She turns around to head back the way she came. There's something in the distance that swims toward her. She swims quickly to it.
Imani, finally! Listen, you were right, so let's go meet this siren woman.
No response. Adonna's head cocks to the side as she stops swimming. The figure swims closer to Adonna. She leans forward to try getting a better look. Her eyes go wide when the figure comes into focus. It's a shark. She screams, bubbles flying out of her mouth, and swims quickly to the opposite direction. The shark keeps right on her tail. The shark passes her, forcing Adonna to change direction. Adonna continues to swim, looking back every so often. The second time she looks back, she swims into a seaweed field and gets tangled up. She struggles trying to get out of her tail, but her tail is wrapped in a place where she can't reach. As the shark swims closer, Adonna screams, closes her eyes, and sticks out her arms.
No!
Monty swims in front of her and holds out their hands.
Kahlua, you can't just chase sirens around. You can't just chase sirens you don't know. We've talked about this.
Donna's eyes open as soon as she hears their voice. The shark sticks its nose in the palm of Monty's hand. Monty begins to pet. Adonna looks at them, confused, and Monty turns to Adonna.
This is Kahlua. He gets really excited when he meets new sirens, but he's harmless.
Adonna lets out a scoff, eyeing them both.
Uh-huh.
Here, hold out your hand.
Adonna hesitates, but slowly extends her hand. Amani moves next to the shark and slowly guides the shark over to Adonna. Adonna takes a deep breath and closes her eyes again. Once the shark makes contact with Adonna's hand, it immediately begins to nuzzle into it. Adonna's eyes shoot open and she looks down at him. She starts to slowly pet him.
Wow. You're not so scary, huh, big guy?
You have no reason to fear any of the creatures in the sea. We are one with all ocean life.
Adonna nods. Imani Imani lets out a whistle and points to the open sea without seaweed. The shark huffs bubbles out of his nose and swims off in that direction.
So can I get a little help here?
Adana wiggles her tail that's wrapped in seaweed.
Of course. My apologies.
Imani swims towards her tail and unwraps it.
I told you running would not work.
Yeah, well, swimming obviously didn't either.
Are you ready to meet Mommy, mother of all sirens?
I guess so. How far will we have to swim? That chase kind of wore me out.
Do not worry. It's just through this seaweed field.
Adana nods. Imani starts to swim through the seaweed, and Adana follows them silently until they reach the end of the field. Imani stops in front of the seaweed and parts the seaweed. Through it, a large city can be seen. The city is bright and filled with houses made of coral and other sea life. Imani motions for her to follow them by flicking their tail. Adana's jaw drops, and her eyes widen. There is a giant pathway in between the houses that lead up to a beautiful, sparkling, white castle. She looks back towards Imani, but they are already far ahead of her. She quickly swims after them. Exterior, underwater, continuous. As they swim through the city, they pass by other sirens going about their daily life. The sirens are talking and laughing with one another, but once they see Imani, they all immediately stop what they're doing and calmly bow their heads and raise their tails. Adana turns to Imani and scoffs.
Are you like royalty or something?
Of the sorts.
Adana lets out a small gasp and lowers her eyes. Once they get into the castle gates, they are greeted by two buff-looking sirens. Imani nods at them, and they open the castle doors. Imani enters the castle with Adana, following them close behind. Interior, underwater, castle, continuous. Adana looks around the interior of the underwater castle. The castle is a very open layout with white pillars scattered throughout. The walls are lined with different gold shells right in the middle of an open space. In between the two pillars sits a golden chase lounge. Mommy, a gorgeous African woman with red and white tail, lays atop. One snake slithers around her neck and another around her tail as she looks at herself through a golden hand mirror. Imani and Adana swim close to her. Imani bows, and after a beat, Adana looks over and quickly does the same. Mommy motions for Imani to leave the room. They nod their head and swim away.
Hello, Adana.
How do you know my name?
My child, I know more than just your name.
I am not your child. I don't even know you.
Come, child. You will remember soon enough.
Mommy motions for Adana to come closer. Adana raises an eyebrow, reluctantly swimming up to Mommy. Mommy takes Adana's hands and begins to hum the song from Adana's dream. The water around them begins to bubble, and both of their eyes turn white. Flashback. Exterior, underwater, day. A younger Elizabeth with a light blue tail is pulling a pregnant siren that looks very similar to Adana. They are quickly swimming away from the underwater city. Exterior, shore, day. The pregnant siren sits on the shore holding a baby in her arms next to Elizabeth. Elizabeth and the pregnant siren both appear with legs once they are out of the water. She whispers something over the baby, and there's a flash of bright light. The siren disappears with the light. Elizabeth lets out a small cry and picks the baby up. End flashback. Interior, underwater, castle, continuous. Mommy and Adana pull their heads back from each other as their eyes change back to normal.
I can show you more.
Adana's eyes are filled with tears. She shakes her head.
That's impossible. Nanny never said anything. My mom died in a car accident on the way to the hospital.
Adana started to get angrier as she spoke.
Nanny wouldn't lie to me. She wouldn't.
Perhaps she wanted to protect you from your truth. These were just your own memories.
No, no, no.
She backs away from Mommy.
There is much more to be learned. Let me show you.
I want to hear it from my nanny.
Adana turns and begins to swim towards the exit.
You know you can't be gone long, which means you'll have to make a decision.
Adana pauses and turns back to Mommy.
Either you live the rest of your life as a siren, releasing your past memories, or you can stay human and live your life without knowing where you truly come from.
Adana's eyes go wide as she quickly swims out of the castle. Imani tries to grab her arm as she passes, but Mommy makes a notion to stop.
She will return once she learns the truth.
Interior hospital, late afternoon. Adana rushes into Elizabeth's room, dripping wet with tears streaming down her face. Elizabeth is sitting on her bed with Magdalene. When Elizabeth looks up at Adana, her eyes widen. She knows.
I want to know the truth about my mom and who we are.
Elizabeth sighs and passes the bed next to her. Adana approaches her, but chooses to sit on the edge of the bed.
We come from descendants of sirens, saved and created by Mommy. She kept us very isolated from the world outside of the ocean, but once your mother learned that there was life below sea, there was no stopping her. She would visit the shore every day, bring back lots of different trinkets, including that music box you love so much.
Elizabeth gives a sad smile.
One day she came back pregnant. When Mommy found out, she was furious, you know. Not because she didn't like babies, but because your father was a human. She didn't know what kind of harm a half siren could bring to the city, so she gave her a choice. Leave with you and forget her siren past, or stay and give you up.
And she chose me?
Elizabeth nods.
She knew the risks of having you, so I left with her. She used her dying wish to cast a protection spell on you, to keep you from turning in water and remembering Siren's past.
Why didn't you tell me any of this? Why did she keep me from remembering?
She wanted to protect you.
Protect me from what?
Memories of the first Sirens. It's too much for a child. She just wanted you to live a normal life.
Tears start to form in Elizabeth's eyes.
Annie, I told you. I want to know it all.
Elizabeth nods, and a tear falls down her cheek. Elizabeth takes Adonna's hands and begins to hum the same melody from Adonna's dream softly. There's a flash of light, and their eyes turn white. Memory montage. A big wooden ship is sailing on the sea. The sounds of chains rattling can be heard from below. A pregnant black woman stands at the edge of the boat with shackles on her feet. A white hand pushes her into the water. The woman sinks faster and faster, struggling to break from the chains. Mommy swims up to the sinking pregnant. A baby emerges from the pregnant woman's legs. The baby has a fishtail, gills, and scales. Mommy takes the baby and the woman and swims away. Whales guide more baby sirens to Mommy's castle. More pregnant women bodies drop into the ocean as whales swim away. The image of shackles, white hands pushing black skin, and the splashing rapidly repeat themselves. The sound of the shackles and splash get louder and louder. Back to sea. Interior hospital continues. Adonna and Elizabeth let go of each other's hands, eyes returning to normal. The two sit in silence for a couple of minutes with tears falling down their face.
Mommy tried to free her people of these memories, but a few Sirens, our family included, were too powerful to forget. Their memories have continued to be passed down from their firstborns.
Adonna sniffs.
The citizens that don't remember live in a bliss, but they'll never be able to know where they came from. Most of them believe that there's nothing beyond the ocean.
Elizabeth leans over to Adonna and wipes her tears. Elizabeth looks exhausted.
Remember, I will always be with you.
Elizabeth pulls Adonna into a hug and kisses her on top of her head. Elizabeth begins to chant something about giving Adonna her last sliver of power and strength. Adonna pulls away from the hug slightly, raising an eyebrow at her grandmother. Elizabeth pulls her back in and closer.
I love you.
There's a bright flash of light and the hospital machine flatlines. Adonna lets out a loud screech and begins to sob as the nurses and doctors rush in to usher her out. Exterior, here, night. Adonna sits on the edge crying. She pulls out a piece of candy from her pocket and eats it. She begins to cry harder. She lets out a frustrated scream and begins to rock back and forth, ushering out different ad-libs of grief. She stops and takes a moment, looking out the dark ocean. After a minute of pondering, she jumps. Exterior, underwater, continuous. Adonna swims furiously deep down into the ocean. Tears quickly fly from her eyes as she swims faster and faster until she reaches an open and empty coral field and stops. She lets out another frustrated scream that bubbles surround her face. After her scream, a silence falls around the area. She looks around her, but there is nothing but coral in either direction of her. Every way she looks about the same side came from which the large rock formation. Some small fish swim by her, but other than that, she can't see any other sign of life. She sighs and swims over to the rock formation. She sits down and puts her head in her hands. She softly starts to cry again.
Hello? Are you done screaming?
Don's head whips up and she looks around. She gets off the rock and starts to search for where the sound's coming from.
I'm under this rock thing.
She swims down to the bottom of the formation. She spots Nisa, 27, black woman with short curly hair, fake glasses, and a sack purse with bright green tail, tangled up in a fishing net.
Can you help me?
Madonna quickly swims over and starts to untangle Nisa.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I didn't even know you. I don't know how I didn't see you.
Well, you seem pretty distressed, so I stayed quiet to let you have your moment.
How did you manage to get tangled up this bad?
I wasn't looking where I was swimming.
Donna stifles a laugh.
Listen, I saw that shiny thing in the sand, and I just went to grab it. It doesn't help that I can't really see out of these glasses.
Nisa giggles. Donna finally gets Nisa free. She swims out of the net excitedly, then dashes down and grabs a shiny thing from under the sand. It's a broken Scotch glass. She shoves the glass in her bag and then darts to Adana and gives her a bear hug.
Thank you so much.
Adana.
Adana. I'm Nisa. So are you planning on screaming some more? Or do you want to help me look for more land stuff on my way home?
Donna looks at Nisa, but doesn't answer.
It's okay. I won't force you to talk about it, but you will have to hold my bag.
Donna nods, laughing.
Okay, sure.
The two swim off in silence, side by side. Exterior underwater, continuous. Adana and Nisa are in a coral reef. They are surrounded by lots of different colored fish and other creatures. Nisa is searching through an anemone while Adana holds her bag.
Don't those sting? Shouldn't you be more careful?
I mean, it's more of a scratch. Nothing around here really hurts us. Shouldn't you know that? Do you live under a rock or something?
I'm not really from around here.
Nisa pulls some type of trash out from the anemone and sticks it in her bag. The two move to a coral formation and Nisa continues rummaging.
What do you mean you're not from around here? Are you from a different ocean?
Not exactly.
Well, where else could you...
Nisa's eyes widen as she turns to Adana.
Are you trying to tell me you're from the surface?
Donna nods and Nisa drops the item she's holding. Donna catches it and puts it back in her bag.
That's impossible. How?
Nisa starts to swim around Adana, inspecting her. She gets really close to Adana's face and pokes it.
Well, apparently my mom was a siren and my dad was a human.
Nisa takes her fingers and opens one of Adana's eyes. Adana moves her fingers away, and then Nisa starts to pinch Adana's cheeks.
A half siren.
Nisa lets out a squeal that causes the fish around them to scatter, and Adana to jump back.
How's life on land? Is it as beautiful as it looks from the water?
You've never been?
I can't change when I get out of the water. I'm the second child in my family.
Oh.
It's fine. That's why I bury my nose in books and land trinkets. So tell me, how is it?
It's not all it's cracked up to be, I promise.
Nisa pouts.
I bet you're just making that up to make me feel better.
Adana lets out a small laugh and shakes her head.
Sadly, I'm not.
Whatever. I'll see for myself one day.
Adana raises an eyebrow, but stays silent.
Do you want to come back to my place?
Adana nods, and the two swim off. Exterior, underwater, Nisa's cottage, continuous. Adana and Nisa swim up to a small, dark coral home in the middle of a field of coral. Nisa swims up and goes to open the door. Monty swims up behind them.
Adana? Nisa, what is she doing here? How do you two know each other?
Adana scrunches her eyebrows, then goes to speak, but Nisa beats her to it.
Amani, what are you doing here, and how do you know her?
I am to take her to mommy at once.
Nisa rolls her eyes.
Oh, you're still working for that old eagle.
Nisa, don't speak of our deity in that way.
Your deity. She stopped being my deity when she decided to throw me out of the kingdom for my research.
Your research could cause harm to her kingdom, our community. How do you still not understand that after all these years?
You don't understand how it feels to live cooped up down here when I know there's a whole other world up there.
It is dangerous, Nisa.
It can't be that dangerous if mom and dad chose living up there over raising their own children.
Adana lets out a small gasp.
You guys are siblings?
Monty nods.
Unfortunately. And they were born first, so they get the memories and the land privileges that they barely use. How annoying.
The memories are a burden, Nisa. You do not want them.
That's not a decision that you or mommy should be making for anyone. Some of us want to know where we came from, and some of us want more than just swimming around in the ocean forever.
I refuse to do this with you again.
Amani turns to Adana.
Adana, come. Mommy would like to see you. It is time for your decision.
Nisa looks at Adana. Adana shakes her head.
Tell her I'm still deciding. Nisa has something she wants to show me.
Amani looks between the two girls. They let out a big sigh.
Fine, but I'll be back for you later. You must make a decision, Adana.
Amani gives one last look to Nisa and swims off. Nisa rolls her eyes.
You must make a decision.
Nisa scoffs.
What a sucker fish.
Nisa mumbles to herself as she opens the door to her cottage. Interior, underwater, Nisa's cottage. living room walls are covered with bookshelves, and the sandy floor is littered with crumpled papers. There are multiple shelves with different human items. Iris, female siren 30, with long black dreads and dark yellow tail, sits in the corner, reading. Hakeem, male siren 24, with cornrows, sits next to a window talking to the dolphin outside of it. The two turn when Nisa brings Donna into the cottage.
Guys, you won't believe who I brought home.
Let me guess. Another girl you're ready to marry.
Nisa gives him a stern look while Hakeem just laughs.
Be nice, Hakeem. It's been a while since Lisa made a friend.
Guys, this is Adana. She is my new friend. Adana, this is Iris. She used to be an emissary like Imani, but she chose to be a good sister and follow her brother when he and I were banished. And this is Hakeem. He's Iris's younger brother, and well, he's Hakeem.
Adana waves. The other two wave back and then continue with what they were doing before.
So Adana is a half siren.
Impossible.
Awesome.
Hakeem and Iris immediately jump from their chairs and swim up to inspect Donna. Donna gives them a confused look and grabs for Nisa's hand. Nisa steps forward and pushes Hakeem and Iris away.
Stop crowding her, guys. She's very new to this. Back off.
Hakeem and Iris back off. Hakeem looks down at Nisa and Adana's hands and raises an eyebrow to Nisa's chuckling. Nisa quickly lets go of Adana's hand, letting out a fake cough.
Anyways, Adana, we have this book, but there's a lock on it. We think only you can open it.
Why only me?
Nisa swims over to the bookshelf and pulls off one of the books. She hands it to Adana. It's titled Secrets of a Half Siren.
Oh, I guess I can try.
Adana looks at the lock and tries to break it, hovering her hand over it. Nothing happens. She pulls at it. Nothing happens. She blows bubbles into the keyhole. Nothing happens.
I think this requires an actual key.
What if the key is her blood?
Iris picked up a blade from the table and swims a bit closer to Adana. Adana's eyes widen as she backs into Nisa.
No, I think Adana's right. We need an actual key.
Maybe it's in one of these books.
We've tried that.
Adana ignores her and picks up a book from the shelf. As soon as she opens it, her eyes go white and she's stuck in a trance. Nisa rushes to Adana's side and tries to wake her.
Adana! Adana!
There is no response. Hakeem swims over and blows bubbles in Adana's face, but there's no response.
Hold on. Didn't we read that some sirens can see books instead of reading them? Maybe that's what's happening.
You're right. I remember that.
That's so sick. How long do you think it'll take?
Nisa goes to respond, but is interrupted by a big breath from Donna.
Whoa, what just happened? It was like I was reading the book, but I wasn't. I was there.
Nisa stares at her for a second.
It's a very rare siren ability. Your mother or your grandmother must have had it.
What did it look like in there?
We don't have time for that. Maybe you can find the key this way.
Right, because the book might not say it, but it could show it.
Hold on. Do I have any other siren powers that I should know about?
We can make whirlpools with our hands. I can only make small ones, though.
Nisa starts to rotate her hands in the water, creating tiny whirlpool of bubbles.
Ooh, and we can lure humans with our melodies and then mind control them. It's pretty cool. This one time, I made a little girl drop her hot dog into the ocean.
The other three sirens just stare at him for a moment. Donna bursts into laughter first, and then the other two follow. Iris pats Hakeem on the shoulder, and then grabs another book off the shelf and hands it to Adana.
Do you think you could talk to us in that reading state?
I can try.
Adana opens the book, and her eyes turn white.
Adana, what do you see? Can you hear me?
It's just showing me different coral reef buildings and how to build them.
Iris looks at the cover of the book. A home made out of coral.
Perfect. You can stop now. Just close the book.
Donna struggles, but finally closes the book. Her eyes return to normal.
Good. That was just the test run. You have a lot of reading to do.
We'll try to weed out the books that have nothing to do with sirens.
What can I do?
Nisa and Iris give each other a knowing look.
You can take Atlas and go get us some kelp snacks.
Yeah, Adana's going to be really hungry after all of this.
Hakeem nods excitedly and opens the window.
You hear that, Atlas? We have a mission.
Atlas nods her head, and Hakeem swims out the window with her. The three let out a little laugh and then start grabbing books. Wig montage. Adana opens a book. Her eyes go white. She closes the book and shakes her head. Nisa takes the book and puts it in a pile. That pile gradually gets bigger and bigger until they are on their last book. Back to scene.
Please let this last book hold the answers.
Adana opens the book and her eyes glow white. Exterior, beachfront, day, intercut. There's a young woman walking up to a man who's wood carving on the beach. They begin to talk. They are unable to make out facial features.
Dear diary, today was the best day. I finally made my way to the surface, and I met the sweetest person ever. This voice, it feels familiar. His name is Daniel. Oh my God.
Interior underwater house day. The shot switches to a close-up of Donna's mom writing in her diary.
He told me to meet him tomorrow, and he'll make me something special. I know we just met, but I feel a strange pull to him.
Interior underwater Niece's cottage, late afternoon. Dawn lets out a gasp, nearly dropping the book.
This is my mother's diary.
Montage, diary entry, various. Interior wood workshop day. The interior layout of the workshop looks identical to Nanny's trinkets. Dawn's mom bursts into the workshop with a key. Dawn's dad takes it and pulls her into a hug.
He gave me another trinket today. This has to be like the 100th one. I gave him a key that I need him to disguise. I wonder what he'll come up with.
Dawn's mom giggles and gives him a peck on the cheek. He pulls a wooden card carving out of his pocket and hands it to her. Exterior beachfront, night. Dawn's mom and dad are having a picnic on the beach. There's a blanket spread out with all kinds of sweets.
He took me out on a nice picnic today.
Donna's dad sits back, carving into a piece of wood. Donna's mom gives him a nervous look and begins to talk to him.
I don't know what came over me, but I had to tell him the truth about what I am.
She fiddles with her hands and then signals for him to wait. She takes a deep breath and walks into the ocean, revealing her tail to him.
He was surprisingly calm about the whole thing, and the best news of it all, he still loves me.
He stands up, staring at her in disbelief, and then immediately runs to join her in the water. They share a passionate kiss. Interior wood workshop day. Donna's dad gets down on one knee and pulls out the wooden music box. Donna's mom tears up as she nods her head. She pulls him up from the ground and hugs him.
I know I say this a lot, but today actually was the best day ever. He proposed.
She then gestures to her belly. He lifts her up and spins her around, kissing her all over her face.
I told him about the baby, and he was over the moon with excitement. I think it's finally time that I share my research with him.
Interior underwater house day. Donna's mom is holding a book, and her eyes are white, but she seems to be writing into the book with a lot.
The research is going well. Daniel wants to live down here with me and the baby. I think I'll test my findings with him tomorrow.
Exterior beachfront, night. Donna's mom is pulling Donna's dad into the water. Once he's in, Donna's mom whispers some words and connects their foreheads.
We had a big breakthrough today. I actually turned him, but only for a minute. We're getting closer though.
There's a bright flash of white, and Donna's father has a tail. They look at one another and hug. He tries to swim around a little bit, but after a minute, the tail disappears. Interior underwater castle day.
It's been a few days since I've written here. Mommy found out about my research.
Mommy is yelling at Donna's mom. She's furiously waving her hands.
And about the baby. She is not happy. She gave me an ultimatum. Stay and give up my beautiful husband and daughter, or leave and forget about my siren family. She's granted me a day to make my decision. I need to go see him.
Interior wood workshop, night. Donna's mom walks in to find Donna's dad laying on the floor with an empty vial next to him. She falls on her knees, crying.
She had him killed. He's gone.
She shakes him and tries to wake him, but he doesn't budge. She picks up the vial and smells it. She gags. She takes her hands and hovers them over his dead body, closing her eyes. She sees a vial of clear liquid, and then she hears a melody. She watches as her husband is put into a trance. He mindlessly picks up the liquid and drinks it. Interior underwater house, early morning. Donna's mom is packing her and her mom's stuff up.
Mommy never actually gave me a decision. I'll die if I give birth to this baby on land. That's why I'm leaving today. My mom is gonna come with me. She is gonna take the baby to mine and Daniel's house. They'll be safe there. Hopefully she'll learn about her history when she's older. But until then, I'll cast a protection spell on her.
She closes the book of research and locks it with a key. She puts the book on her shelf. She moves out from her desk and scribbles something quickly into her diary.
Adana, if you ever read this, I will leave you with my most prized possessions, my music box and my research. Please know that I did everything in my power to protect you. I love you.
Donna's mom shuts the diary. She takes the key in her hand and opens the music box. She sticks the key in the middle, revealing the carving of a man and a mermaid dancing. She closes the music box and stuffs it in her bag. She quickly swims out of the room. And montage. Interior, underwater cottage. Donna snaps back to reality and bursts into tears.
Adana, are you okay?
Nisa rushes over to Adana and holds her in her arms.
Adana, you said something about a music box. Is that where the key is?
Nisa gives Iris an angry look and consoles Adana, but Adana nods her head. Adana wipes the tears from her face and sits up, not letting go of Nisa's hands.
I know where it is.
Interior, underwater beachfront, night. Adana, Nisa, Iris, and Hakeem are huddled by the drop-off point at the beachfront.
Hakeem and I can't go with you guys, so just hurry and bring the key back to the cottage.
I know.
And remember, start the melody, and then you can get the lifeguard to do what you want.
I know.
Adana,
I'm fine. I just want you to know what everyone else was hiding from me.
well, hopefully this key answers a lot of questions.
Adana nods.
Hey, families hide stuff all the time. I don't think they wanted to hurt you.
Adana ignores her, swimming towards the shore, motioning for Iris to follow. Exterior, beachfront, night. Adana and Iris emerge from the water quickly. The lifeguard, closing up the tower, notices them and starts to make their way over.
Hey, you guys shouldn't be in the water this late. It's dangerous.
His voice is cut off by a low hummed melody coming from Adana. The lifeguard immediately straightens up and stops talking. He stares at her as if he's in a trance.
You didn't see anything.
I didn't see anything.
You won't remember any of this.
I won't remember any of this.
Now walk away and count to 3.
The lifeguard nods lifelessly and begins walking away.
1, 2, 3.
Iris looks at Adana, impressed, but doesn't say anything. Adana continues to walk without looking back. Interior, Adana's bedroom, night. Adana bursts into her room, making the door slam into the wall with Iris right behind her. She runs straight into her bedside table where the music box usually sits. The music box is turned open on its side and it's missing the little figurines. The music box is covered in droplets of water. Adana gasps.
What?
She reaches out and picks up the music box. The little keyhole is where the figurines used to be. Her eyes flash white. Interior, Donna's bedroom, earlier. 2 wet hands pick up the music box. The hands open the box and remove the siren and the man figurine, revealing a key. The hands drop the music box back onto the table, and the face of the hands is revealed. Imani. Interior, Donna's bedroom, present. Donna's eyes quickly return to normal as she drops the music box, quickly gasping.
Honey.
She turns to look over at Iris, but she's not there. Suddenly, Donna gets hit over the head with a blunt object, and everything goes black. Interior, underwater dolphin den, night. Donna's eyes open to reveal that she's in a dark underwater den. There are silhouettes that resemble sharks swimming around her. As the silhouettes get closer, they appear to be dolphins. Donna's arm and tail are chained to the rock. She struggles until she hears a shrill laugh coming from behind her.
I wouldn't try it. If you get free, these dolphins would just tear you apart.
Iris, what? Why would you be working with Imani? Where are they?
Silly little girl. You think us emissaries dare to leave Mammy? We aren't as stupid as your mother.
Shut up.
Oh, I must have touched a nerve. Don't worry, darling. Imani will be here in a little bit. I suggest you make yourself comfortable.
Iris laughs again and swims out, leaving Donna in the dark. Donna looks around at the dolphins. She sees one with a familiar tag on its fin.
Psst. Atlas, come here, boy. Help me out.
Atlas swims closer to her and then snaps his jaw loudly. Donna jumps back, banging her head on the rock. She starts to yell.
Imani! Iris! What do you want from me? Let me go!
You know, I've been at Mommy's side for as long as I can remember. For years, Mommy has been a guardian to our survival, but over time, she grew soft. Your mother was the final crack that broke the shell. Mommy took pity on her. Mommy took pity on one of her favorite daughters. Oh, how curious and cute she was.
Don't.
I followed Mommy's every word, every order. I am bound by Mommy's will. Yet she wanted to be merciful to a stupid girl in love and ignore the counsel of her most trusted emissary. To think she even considered letting one of those horrid humans live among us is disgusting. It isn't possible to think humans could live with us. For generations, I have watched them kill each other, their own kind, effortlessly and without remorse. They poison our home and continuously hurt what they do not understand.
She considered it.
Bubbles start to surround Adana as she starts shaking slightly with anger.
Mommy was conflicted and confused, so I merely gave her a push in the right direction. She knew your mother would die if she gave birth to you on land, but she also knew your mother loved your father too deeply to let go. It was through this weakness and confusion that I was allowed to sing into Mommy's ear. I was able to remind her of the pain and suffering of our ancestors, suffering that I endure every night, for some of us cannot forget so easily.
I could make you human. I could take that suffering away.
Any siren that chooses to be human are unworthy of everything we have built down here. They should appreciate the paradise that surrounds them, the protection that Mommy has given us. Sirens becoming humans? For what? To live among them in their filth? To breathe their putrid air? What good would that do us?
As Donna anger grows, the water begins to bubble around her.
What if we both could live in harmony? Wouldn't you want to see your parents again?
My parents? The ones who chose to live among bloodthirsty creatures? They are dead to me.
But they don't have to be. Don't you want to know their reasoning? Don't you want to see how great life could be if we all came together?
They wouldn't even remember me. Mommy took their memories.
Maybe I could get them back. Don't you want to try?
You foolish girl. You know nothing just like that wood carver who thought he could live among us. He soon changed his mind after he got a taste of the sea.
The bubbles around Adana grow more vicious as she lets out a melodic scream that causes strong ripples that blow the dolphins and Amani away from her. The bubbles around her chains grow stronger and stronger until the chain shatters. Adana swims up to Amani as they catch their breath.
I am tired of people making decisions on my behalf. I deserve to know who I am, and I won't let you take that from me.
Imani tisks and points at Adana, letting out a low call. The dolphins begin rushing her while snapping their jaws. Iris appears as well, moving towards Adana to pin her down. Adana takes her hands and starts moving them in a big circular motion, creating a huge whirlpool. Iris and the dolphins get swept into the whirlpool along with the rocks and sand. The rock that Adana was chained to gets picked up and lands on Imani's tail, trapping him. She makes her way over to him and takes the key from the book. Adana lets out a high whistle tone melody, and Kahlua soon joins her side. She grabs hold of the dorsal fin and they swim away. Exterior, underwater, Nisa's cottage continues. Nisa and Hakim rush over to Adana, who's holding on to Kalua's dorsal fin.
Adana, did you get the key?
Where's Iris? Why are you with Kahlua?
Imani and Iris, they were working together.
What?
No.
It's easier if I show you.
Adana sticks out her hands and the two grab hold. Their eyes flash white, and then after a couple minutes, they all come back to normal. Hakim goes into the corner and sits down. Nisa keeps a hold of Adana's hand while she looks at the ground.
Adana, I am so sorry.
Don't be. It isn't your fault.
Adana gives Nisa's hand a squeeze.
I just can't believe they do something like this. I didn't know they were hurting like this either. I'm such a terrible sister.
Nisa bursts into tears. Adana holds Nisa in a hug.
So my sister was using me to spy on us and our research? And Atlas too?
Hakim starts to cry as well. Adana pulls him into the hug. Adana rubs both of their backs to comfort them. After a little bit of crying, Nisa composes herself.
We need to find somewhere to look through this book. We have to prove to them that this research is important.
I have an idea, but I don't know if the house will still be there.
The other two nod in agreement, i.e. underwater house later. The three, plus Kahlua, swim up to the house from the diary entries. The house looks abandoned and a little broken down. The three enter while Kahlua starts to circle the house. The inside of the house looks like it had been left in a rush. There are shelves, broken glass, and different knickknacks on the floor. Donna immediately swims over to the desk from the visions. She runs her hand over it, and a tear escapes. She sets the book atop the desk and unlocks it. Hakim and Nisa join her. Donna opens the book, and the words on the first page start to glow. The words begin to lift off the page and float around the house. The room begins to change.
Are you guys seeing this?
Nisa's mouth is open wide. She reaches out to try to touch one of the words, but her hand goes straight through it. The words sort themselves into a sentence surrounding them. Donna reads the sentence aloud, but her mother's voice comes out instead.
Hidden words, locked and sealed, now become all revealed. Familiar spirits guide the way, for you will not be led astray. powerful secrets left to the sea, unlocked by sunken memories.
The words unwrap and begin to shape a siren form that becomes a spirit-looking version of Adana's mom. 3 of them gasp.
Do not be afraid. It's not really me. It's just the remaining spirit that I left to protect you. Since you have reunited that piece of spirit with this book, I will be able to speak with you briefly.
Adana stands still, staring at her mother in disbelief. Hakeem lets out a squeal and throws a seashell in the direction of Adana's mom. The seashell phases through her and floats down to the ocean floor.
Hakeem, that's Adana's mom, you absolute shellfish.
Hakeem mumbles out an apology as Adana snaps out of her shock. She swims up closer to her mom and observes her.
It's really you. Yes, it is time for me to share with you the research that I contain in these pages. You may use them to help our people.
Adana nods. Lisa grabs a pen and paper from the desk and begins to take notes.
For starters, the spell that you seek is one that you already know. This is the key to allow our people to become like you. One that may live on land and underwater.
One I already know that doesn't.
Secondly, these created half sirens will not be very powerful. It will take them much longer to recover and adjust to life on land.
Is there any way to make them more powerful?
Memories of the first. Restoring their memories and allowing them the freedom to learn their history will cause them to be almost as powerful as you.
I see.
The memory restoration process takes an immense amount of energy. You can link with other powerful sirens for the restoration.
Adana's mom begins to fade.
Mom! The final thing you must know. I am so very proud of you. You are going to change lives.
Why'd you have to leave me, Mom?
I knew the great person you'd become. I couldn't keep that from the world. You deserve to live your life with freedom.
So did you.
Oh, but I did. I lived within you.
Adana's mom begins to fade a little bit more.
Don't go.
A part of me will always live within you.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, my sweet angel fish.
Adana's mom disappears. Adana collapses to the floor and cries for a little bit. Nisa swims over to comfort her. Interior underwater house later. Adana, Hakeem, and Nisa sit on the sandy floor facing each other. Nisa is reading through her notes.
Something I already know.
Was there a poem or a book your nanny used to read you?
Nothing that stands out as a spell.
What about a song?
Hakeem, we're looking for a spell, not a song.
Wait a minute. He might be onto something.
I
He
am.
is?
Most siren spells are melodies. I can't believe I didn't think of this.
So, a melody.
Adana thinks for a moment.
Oh my god, the music box!
We should try it.
I should restore your memories first. That's what my mom said, right?
Nisa checks her notes.
Yeah, to keep the recovery time swift.
Okay.
What's wrong?
These memories, they're a lot.
Nisa grabs Hakeem's hands.
We want to know everything.
Hakeem nods in agreement.
Okay.
Adana grabs a hold of their open hands. She lets out a low, flat hum. Soon their eyes all flash white. Tears start to fall from everyone's eyes as they return to normal. They sit in silence for a moment.
Wow. Those are the images Imani had in their heads since they were just a young siren.
Adana nods softly.
I think we should continue.
Adana nods again.
I'll start with you then.
Adana takes Nisa's head and connects their foreheads. Adana begins to sing the tune of the melody from the music box. The bow begins to surround the two vigorously. Nisa's eyes flash white for a moment, and then everything suddenly becomes still.
How do you feel? Any sickness, any pain?
Nisa shakes her head.
I don't feel anything different. Try with Hakeem.
She repeats the same thing with Hakeem and gets the same results.
Yeah, I don't think I feel anything.
I guess there's only one real way to find out.
The 3 swim out of the house. Dawn stops to talk to Kalua.
Keep those dolphin spies away from us, okay, boy?
Kalua nods and swims off. The 3 sirens swim off in another direction. Exterior, above water / below the pier. Day.
Let's see if this worked.
Dawn swims up to the shore and gets out of the water first. She turns and waits for the others. Hakeem excitedly swims up to the shore and lifts himself out. There's a bright flash of light, and Hakeem's tail turns into a pair of legs wearing the same colored pants as his tail. Hakeem tries to stand and then immediately falls. Dawn lets out a laugh and tries to help him up. He brushes it off.
I got it.
Hakeem falls again. Donna shakes her head, laughing, and walks away with her hands up.
I tried to help.
Hakeem sticks out his tongue and continues trying to walk. Donna turns her attention to Nisa, who's still in the water. Nisa's eyes start to water as she swims towards the shore. Nisa pulls herself out of the water, and there's a flash, and then a squeal from Nisa as she kicks around her new legs.
This is all I've ever dreamed about.
Nisa gets up and attempts to run over to Adana, but ends up tripping into Adana's arms instead. Donna giggles.
Careful.
Nisa squeezes Adana into a tight hug.
Thank you so much.
Hakeem hobbles over to them and violently jumps into a hug.
Aw, you guys.
The group stumbles and almost falls over.
All right, you guys, we should test it out and make sure. We should test it out and make sure you last without any symptoms.
Can we please get hot dogs? I've always wanted to try one that isn't soggy.
Adana and Nisa let out loud laughs.
Of course we can.
Donna ruffles Hakeem's hair. She puts an arm around each of them and begins walking towards the boardwalk. Exterior boardwalk, Carnival Day. The three enter the gates. Nisa and Hakeem look around in awe, gasping at every little thing. Donna watches them fondly. Hakeem spots a hot dog stand and rushes his way to the front, almost knocking over a few guests.
Can I get 5 hot dogs?
The vendor gives him a look and rings it up. The vendor asks for payment and Hakeem gives him a funny look.
Huh. I don't have any money.
Adana pushes Hakeem to the side and hands the vendor a 10.
I got it.
The vendor takes the money. He gives her back a few cents, and Adana looks at Hakeem confused.
How many did you order?
5? Is that not normal?
Adana scoffs and rolls her eyes.
You're sharing with me and Nisa.
Hakeem gasps, but doesn't protest. Adana walks over to Nisa, who's sitting on a bench looking out of the seat.
Missing it already?
Not really. Everything just feels so surreal.
Nisa kicks out her legs.
Look at this. I have legs.
Adana giggles.
Legs do look good on you.
Nisa looks up at Adana with wide eyes.
I mean, your legs. You look happy.
Hakeem holds out a hot dog in between the two.
Here.
Nisa takes the hot dog with a small smile on her face.
Thank you.
She says this, looking at Adana, but Hakeem interrupts.
Adana made me, so you don't have to thank me.
He situated himself in between the two on the bench. Adana takes a hot dog and giggles to herself. Exterior, Boardwalk Carnival, later. The sun is beginning to set, and Adana and Nisa watches Hakeem gets in line to ride the slingshot.
Do you think he'll be okay?
He'll probably be throwing up all the food he tried.
Ew.
Is there anything you want to try?
I don't know.
Come on, there has to be something. This is the moment you've always wanted, right?
Nisa glances at the Ferris wheel. Adana notices and starts to pull Nisa towards the ride. They hand the man their tickets and enter the cart, i.e. Ferris wheel, continuous. The Ferris wheel begins to move. Nisa starts to shift around.
I don't know about this.
Adana puts her hand on Nisa's.
Relax. We'll be fine. It's a beautiful view, I promise.
Nisa visibly relaxes at the words. The two stay silent as the Ferris wheel moves towards the top. It stops moving and Nisa brings her hands to her eyes.
Why did it stop?
That's what it's supposed to do. They're just letting other people on.
Donna pulls down Nisa's hands and Nisa's eyes are still closed.
Look at the view.
Nisa opens her one eye and looks out of the car towards the ocean.
Wow.
Nisa opens the other eye and leans over the door, trying to get a better look. The cart rocks a little bit. Madonna reaches out and holds onto Nisa's sides, pulling her back into the cart.
Nisa, be careful.
It actually looks so beautiful. Look at the ocean. I bet if it was above water, I could see my house from way up here.
Madonna chuckles.
Look out this way.
Madonna points towards the side that overlooks the boardwalk. Nisa looks.
You see that building over there? That says Nanny's Trinkets?
Nisa squints and then nods.
That's my house.
Nisa lets out a gasp.
That's so cool. Can we go there next, please?
Madonna nods. Nisa continues to look around in every direction. Madonna watches her with a small smile on her face. The Ferris wheel begins to move again. Exterior, Boardwalk Carnival, later. Nisa and Madonna walk up to Hakeem, who's bent over a trash can, vomiting.
Told you.
Nisa stifles a laugh.
You ready to get out of here, Hakeem? Maybe get you some water.
Why didn't you guys stop me from trying all that food?
You definitely did.
And if I recall, your response was, my stomach can handle it. I'm grown.
Madonna and Nisa start laughing together. Hakeem looks between the two, pointing.
I don't like this.
Madonna and Nisa just laugh harder. The three walk towards the exit. Interior nanny's trinkets night. Donna closes the door behind them as they enter.
Welcome to my home.
Lisa wanders around picking up little trinkets. Sorry.
Oh my God, this is Nisa's heaven. Look at all this stuff.
Nisa gives Hakeem a dirty look. The three walk up to Adonna's living room. Interior, Adonna's living room, continuous. Donna runs into the kitchen and grabs a bottle of ginger ale. She brings it back and tosses it to Hakeem.
Drink this. My nanny used to say this was the solution to all stomach aches.
Hakeem takes a sip.
Tastes like spicy water, but I'll trust you.
Adonna just shakes her head. She walks over to the closet and grabs a blanket and pillow. She throws them on the couch.
Hakeem, you can sleep here. The remote to the TV is right on the table, and if you want to watch, the remote to the TV is right there on the table if you want to watch something.
TV?
Hakeem walks over and grabs the remote. He looks at the TV and cocks his head. He tries pressing the button, but nothing happens. Adonna sighs and takes the remote from him. She
Here.
presses the power button.
Here.
She turns the channel to cartoons. Hakeem and Nisa let out a gasp. Hakeem walks closer to the TV and tries to touch it.
Don't touch, just watch.
Hakeem nods. That's right, but the television. He sits on the couch.
Wait a minute. Why do I have to sleep on the couch? Where's Nisa going to sleep?
Hakeem looks between the two.
Oh, I get it. You two want alone time.
Donna's eyes go wide and she starts to protest, but Nisa cuts her off.
You can join us if you want. I really wanted to try makeup and mani-pedis, and I think you'd be the perfect model.
Actually, I think I'm good out here.
Donna pulls Nisa into the bedroom, laughing. Interior. Donna's bedroom, continuous.
How did you know that would work?
The last time I tried to give him a makeover, his face was numb from the octopus ink I tried to use as eyeliner.
Donna bursts into laughter and collapses on her bed.
Listen, I saw it in one of the magazines I found floating around. I didn't know what to use.
Donna's laughter just increases. Nisa ignores her and begins to look around her bare room. She focuses in on the calendar.
Damn, do you ever just breathe?
But Donna stops laughing.
I like working.
Yeah, but when do you do stuff for yourself?
Donna shrugs.
I go swimming sometimes after my lifeguarding shifts.
Nisa scoffs.
This is why you said living on land wasn't all it's cracked up to be.
Nisa walks over to Adonna and sits down next to her.
You're not living.
Adonna opens her mouth to protest.
Don't worry though, because now that I'm here,
Nisa gets really close to Adonna's face.
I'll make sure you live your best life.
Lisa pulls out a pillow from behind Adonna and hits her with it. Adonna's mouth drops open. She faints, hurt.
Ow! How could you play me like that?
Nisa hits her again.
You gonna fight back?
Donna raises an eyebrow.
You don't want me to do that. I'm known to be quite the competitor.
Lisa hits her again.
I don't believe you.
Adonna whips a pillow out from behind her back and chucks it at Nisa. Nisa dodges the pillow past her head, and Adonna throws another pillow, but Nisa dodges that one as well. Nisa starts to approach Adonna with a menacing look. Adonna goes to grab another pillow, but there are none. She looks at Nisa and puts her hands out in front of her.
Please, you don't have to do this.
Aw, what happened to the big bad competitor?
Nisa laughs and raises the pillow above her head.
I'm sorry, please, I'll do whatever you want.
Nisa pauses.
Whatever I want.
Whatever you want.
Nisa lowers the pillow.
I want you to promise me you'll take the day off sometime. And I want to pick one thing to keep from the store, for free.
Adonna lowers her arms.
That's all?
What can I say? I'm a simple girl.
Adonna laughs.
Done.
Adonna gets up and grabs the pillows off the floor.
Now we should get some rest if we're gonna talk to Mommy tomorrow.
Do we have to talk to that sea witch?
I think she'll hear us out.
Whatever you say.
The two crawl into bed. Adonna shuts the light off.
I want one more thing.
Adonna sighs.
Oh boy, what could it be this time?
She turns over to see Nisa already staring at her. Nisa doesn't answer. Nisa's face gets closer to Adonna's. Nisa moves her brain out of Adonna's face.
Do you think...
Adonna doesn't let her finish. The two kiss. Nisa laughs into the kiss and Adonna pulls away.
What?
Well, I was gonna ask for cuddles, but this is so much better.
Nisa pulls Adonna back into the kiss, smiling. Interior, Adonna's living room, dead. Adonna's in the kitchen cooking pancakes while Hakeem sits on the couch watching cartoons.
Did you sleep?
A little. I woke up because I couldn't sleep without knowing if the cat ever catches the mouse.
Adonna chuckles to herself. She puts the pancakes on a plate and takes them into the the living room.
You get 2.
Hakeem nods and grabs the plate. His eyes never leave the TV.
Thank you.
Nisa comes out of the room. She walks over, kissing Adana's cheek, and then sits next to Hakeem.
Good morning.
I knew that.
Donna blushes slightly and walks back into the kitchen. She brings out 2 more plates of pancakes and puts one in front of Nisa.
All right, guys, what's the game plan?
I still don't understand why we have to go back.
There are other people like you that want to know the truth. Other people that want more than life underwater.
Hakeem sighs.
I say we just go in and tell her everything. Or you could show her if she allows.
Do you think Imani will come around?
No, they're far too gone.
Adana just nods and eats her pancakes. Exterior underwater castle day. The 3 swim up to the castle doors. The guards look at them with intense glare.
My name is Adana. Mommy has been waiting for me.
The guards look at each other and nod. They open the door and escort the 3 inside the throne. Interior underwater castle continues. Mommy sits on the throne.
You finally showed. You did. I see you brought friends.
Mommy turns to Nisa and then Hakeem.
Nisa, Hakeem, I'm surprised you've come back here.
Nisa and Hakeem scoff. Mommy turns to Adana.
Have you come to a decision? Yes. Both of these cultures live within me as one. I will not choose one over the other. My dear, you can't live in both places at once. It's a danger to our society. I know you think that, but there is good on land, and I know you believe that once too.
Mommy raises an eyebrow.
My father, you were thinking about letting him live down here if my mom could figure it out. I wasn't in my right mind. You were. You just let someone get into your head. Impossible. No one can get into my head. Let me show you. I have proof someone did.
Mommy nods her head and opens her arms. Adana swims over to Mommy and puts their heads together. Their eyes go white for a little bit. Hakeem and Nisa give each other a nervous look. The guards look around. The guards around them stiffen. Adana and Mommy's eyes go back to normal.
Now do you see? We could help this community. We could allow them to learn about their history. They can be proud of where they come from.
Mommy goes to speak, but is interrupted by the castle doors slamming open. Imani swims furiously into Mommy and Adana.
Mommy, don't listen to her. You know what those humans did to us.
Imani, what about what you did to me and to Adana? You tricked me.
You weren't in your right mind. You were a danger to us all.
I think I was in my right mind at the time. I've been so caught up in protecting this little bubble that I created that I forgot to allow my people the freedom to explore outside of it.
The people don't need to explore. They need to be protected.
That's not for us to decide.
Imani points to Adana and begins to approach her.
You put this into her head. You're just like your mother. Can't leave well enough alone. And it's that attitude that got your father killed and will inevitably cause this whole kingdom to fall apart.
Nisa steps in front of Adana, taking her hand.
You don't have the right to talk to her like that just because you're mad at our parents for choosing the land life. It doesn't mean you can take it out on everyone around you.
You let her corrupt you too, huh? Look at you falling for another girl that will break your heart.
Imani looks to Adana.
You know my sister's all washed up, right?
Enough.
Everyone stops and looks to her. She swims over to Imani and grabs their hands.
You are a troubled soul, plagued with hurt and fear, as I once was. I made you into this. I forced your parents into a decision, and for that, I apologize.
Mommy turns to the rest of the group.
I can no longer rule this city in fear. Everyone in the city should have the right to make their own decisions.
Mommy lets go of Imani's hands. Imani starts to cry. She pulls them into a hug.
If you all are going to do this, you should create a center to help transition sirens. And once you have that set up, you have my blessing to start transforming anyone who wants to.
Nisa, Adana, and Hakeem hug. Time skip about a year. Interior, Nanny's Trinkets Day. Adana's walking around the shop talking to customers. There's a young black girl working the register and a few other employees stocking the shelves. Nisa enters the shop, followed by a woman. When Nisa reaches Adana, she gestures to the woman next to her and then points to the door in the back. Adana nods and walks with them to another room. Interior, rehabilitation room, continuous. Adana, Nisa, and the woman sit down around a small coffee table. In the back are several hospital beds, some occupied and some empty. Adana turns to Nisa, grabbing her hand. Nisa and Adana look at the woman. Anissa take their hands and begin to hug. There's a flash, and their eyes turn white. A few minutes later, their eyes go back to normal. The woman begins to sob. Anissa takes her hand and leads her back to one of the beds, giving her a box of tissues. Hakeem walks over to the woman to comfort her. Adana and Anissa quietly leave the room.
It's never easy when they want to learn the truth.
Yeah.
Do you regret learning the truth?
No, it's something I needed to know, to feel holy.
Adana nods.
I think I know what you mean.
Exterior, Nanny's Trinkets, day. Adana and Nisa walk out of the shop and look up at Nanny's Trinkets store sign. The two S's have now been changed to look like a siren.
Do you like the new addition?
Nisa smiles and grabs Adana's hand.
Yeah, I do.
Fade out. Just so everybody knows, we'll be staying for about 15 minutes to take autographs.
Whoa. Whoa.
Your time.
So, who want to ask questions?
I don't have any answers.
Maybe you can introduce yourselves as well.
Oh, yeah.
I'm Alejha. I'm the writer, and I also played Nisa.
Oh, I'm Jordan. I played Adana. Hi, I'm Judea. I played Elizabeth, also is Adana's grandma, Adana's mom, and mommy. Yeah. Triple threat.
My name is Patrick. I read for the narrator.
My name's Derek. I played the lifeguard, Hakeem, and Imani.
My name is Quay and I read for Iris. Good job, guys.
It was fabulous. It was really great. Does anybody want to ask questions? Raise your hand.
What was your inspiration for writing a story that like takes place in such a unique setting that we don't really see that often?
When I was little, I was told a lot I couldn't dress up as like Ariel or Belle because I wasn't white. So I felt like I wanted to make, and then with the Little Mermaid coming out and her being black and everyone's like, there can't be black mermaids, and I was like, well, I'm gonna write something where there are black mermaids. So yeah.
I'll ask a question. Develop the relationships among the characters really carefully, and they sort of build slowly. Can you talk a little about that process, and then maybe some of the actors can talk about how they pulled out ideas about the characters?
I feel like I took a lot of my characters from my family and people around me. So I think that's how I was able to build up like that. And then my nanny character was especially like based on both of my grandmothers. So I just kind of threw them together and was able to do that. That's all I got.
I'm Hakeem, right?
Oh yeah, and your favorite.
As far as relationships, I don't know. We all kind of met this week. Well, I know Quay. We all kind of met, guys.
Was it Tuesday?
Yeah, it was Tuesday. And it just kind of fell. I guess it did. I feel like everybody,
No,
the
it
voice
did.
acting, if I close my eyes, it was kind of, they all ate, you know what I'm saying? Maybe I'm a little biased or whatever, but I don't know. I feel like Alejha did a really good job, like, casting everybody's energies, like, just kind of match the characters. And then, like, reading, like, obviously you guys know, because, like, there's so much, like, description from, like, the narrator. It's, like, all on, like, the page. She did a really good job with that. So it's not like we're having to pull so much from ourselves,
Right.
whereas it's kind of like a Bible, you know. No problem, girl. I mean,
I have a question. The question's for the writer. So I'm absolutely obsessed with these kind of films. It's anything fantasy. Professor Steger calls me Twilight because I'm obsessed with Twilight. And I feel like, is there more? Like, is there a sequel? Like, I feel like this could be like a whole thing. I would go to the movies. I would buy the books. I would go to the movies. I'm so interested. I absolutely loved it.
Thank you. I don't know. I had to take a game writing design class, and I kind of wrote a sequel in that class, so
To
maybe.
this?
Yeah, to
Oh, I
this,
have
so
to read it.
maybe.
So it was really, really good.
Thank you.
Hi, Alejha. I'm your biggest fan.
So how did you come up with like the setting? Like it was very descriptive. Like did you read into like research more about? Like,
So I had to research for mommy specifically because I wanted to kind of base her off of the African deity of water, but not too much because I know that there's different African deities, so I wanted her to be her own kind of thing. And then originally I set it somewhere in South Carolina, I believe, where a lot of the slave ships went through. But I wasn't sure if that was too much, so I kind of took it out. But I did a lot of research on where everything happened mainly, and then a lot of research for mommy specifically. And then I had this book, it's called The Deep by River Solomon, and that book helped a lot with figuring out what I was gonna do.
You guys can breathe?
I wasn't breathing.
Thank you very much.
I was like, the lady's gonna kill me. I'm not gonna kill you, girl.
Okay.
No, did you hear me? I was making a mile at the beginning. I was like,
Yeah, no, it's okay. You guys did great. You're reading again, aren't you? You got it.
Everybody stopped and felt like
I checked Thank you so much. I know, I would love to. No, I got you. Thank
no, I'm telling you, there's more people that just like. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Do you want this bag? Oh my gosh, yeah. I follow you back.
Yeah, I was trying to say.
What? Is it really 3? I'll eat them up. Is this it? Yeah. Wait, where? Which one?
what's your major? The prep.
I like that's why I asked. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, okay, that makes sense.
Is it just, are they highlighted?
Yeah, I was asking. Are you like, what's the No. We're gonna see your pilots actually. And then we're gonna go, yeah.
Somewhere in between.
Hopefully that would be like more sense.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I texted Ethan and I was like, hey, no, I might be a little late.
Do you know where it's at? Okay, yeah. I don't know where the room is.
It's on the upper level. Yeah, BRB's having their meeting.
Hey, guys, I'm excited.
Somewhere inside.
Thank you. My name is Alicia. Okay. My parents said I didn't want it. I did the series. My favorite. I was so nervous up there. Were you recording?
I did a live stream, so her grandmother and mom.
That's so good.
like 1 minute ago, I said hashtag tea at like I made a shit thing for them.
Oh my god.
Yeah. No. I was like, I would if they weren't gonna get together, I was gonna.
Right? No, I texted him. Should I? Moment? And then Tyler was like, oh, come on. That was the end of the day. I think, yeah, no, literally. They're gonna be like, can we honest? No. I got it.
At least let me at least walk past. Like, let me do background. One of the
You're gonna be like, you're up there being like you and the
I'm so rusty. At least please. Girl, I got you in your room.
the music video, so I've never.
Wait, I think I saw. Wait, were they for this semester or last semester? I think I saw. Yeah.
I had to talk about
You did. Everybody's gonna be like that. I
feel like I was
I got a play.
You did? You gotta look for his mother. No, I did red. I was like, that's my aerial moment.
Ariel moment?
You did so well.
You did good.
I feel like I was really consistent.
No, yeah, you were. Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're in this too. And you did.
No, I said you were consistent.
He heard that.
Actually, number 56.
I know. I can tell.
My dad is like,
No, but it worked. Okay. Go, Tyler.
So my dad.
I guess I'm sitting there. Are you sitting?
I was gonna say, I can do whatever you say.
You can sing
I'll be for that.
It's okay. I'll be back. It's all right. Are you gonna use all the chairs?
I just got.
Amber, are you reading? You're reading? Is Mariah? Mariah, are you reading? Oh, yeah.
One of these has script later. It's a reader.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah, here we go. Okay. Now we got. Why is this a?
We should have.
Why is this a puzzle?
I really didn't notice. There was like, it was like.
Every time somebody came in,
I noticed the door kept opening, but I didn't know people would come in.
I didn't.
there's so many readers.
I swear.
I
There was enough. We printed 2 times.
I'm the mother, the judge, and a student.
Okay. What about you? I'm just Catherine.
Oh my gosh, really? No. What'd you get?
I got. Okay. I got.
Wait, what?
The Mary Joy.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be on the very end right here. Okay.
And boy. And Millie's mother.
Is that how? I was thinking Ada, but like I don't know.
Where's she going?
Ada, you're in the later.
Kimball? Yeah.
You were gonna take it anyway.
Sure.
And you're gonna eat them up. Yeah. You're gonna eat them up. Where are you guys?
Where are you sitting? No. If you want,
No, me and Bob are after this.
oh, okay.
Bob is reading.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, was she reading? I guess
Oh, what are we?
I'm just looking.
we're missing some I think she has more.
Because all guys. So there should be.
Maybe you can reuse like narrator from Alejha.
Do you still have your narrator paper?
Yeah. That's so rude.
Let's go.
Oh, there. Oh, wait, ready? Oh, right there.
There it is. Here it
Oh,
is.
it's already. Alright, I'm just gonna toss.
Okay. Thank you. I printed.
Tape's still on it and everything.
Okay.
I guess I'm here.
I just, I'm a side character. I feel like I should be center stage.
Let's go to the pause.
Okay, this is
Does everyone have their, oh, this part.
Is there a narrator?
yeah.
Me.
Oh, I thought you just put the narrator.
Where did Boss go? Boss is right here.
Again, thanks guys. Hey, Alyssa.
Does anyone know what jacket this is? I don't wanna like sit on it.
That's Judea's jacket.
Okay, then I'll just move for a minute.
Because I think she's the mother, so yeah. I was talking about you. I don't know.
Oh, Judea. Oh my.
She's in the back. She is in the back.
Yeah.
I was gonna be her like auntie and like she's on the side here, right?
There she is.
Oh, yeah, they're there. Cool.
There they go. Every time somebody throws a hand,
Okay, yeah.
I forgot. Where am I?
You're where you're A, you're A now, so we have
Oh.
Thank you.
Oh, wow. Okay. Nice.
Don't listen to anybody that's talking.
Okay.
Because I have to write.
You would go through and highlight it, but it's like
I would give you like painted yellow and then take out this.
Get this started, get our party. Thank you again for everybody coming, for yet our, another day meeting. This is our second of the day. And I appreciate everybody, getting in place right away and, the speakers which we've, changed here. And this is our young stage by Tyler Means. And we're gonna have the stage reading and then we're gonna stay after, for a few questions with Tyler and the crew. Thank you again. And you have a narrator who's gonna start us? Yes. Awesome. All right, thanks. Oh, you can clap first, because
Interior, child's bedroom, night. It's a classic child's bedroom, blatantly a boy's. Blue walls, blue and white checkered bed sheets, toy dinosaurs and cars and building blocks cluttering the floor and messy bookshelves. The mother carries the boy to his bed.
I don't want to go to bed yet.
It's late.
You're Billy's mother? You're Miriam. Those vacancies, we see Miriam. Your highlighter.
Okay. It's late, Billy. It's already past your bedtime.
But
Shh. Billy glances at his closet and his protest fades. His mother tucks him into bed. Then she stands, kisses him on the forehead, and turns out the light.
Good night, Billy.
good night, Mommy.
The hallway light extinguishes to just a sliver as his mother shuts the door, but right before the light vanishes completely.
Mommy?
The door pauses for a moment, and then is pushed back open slightly.
Yes?
What if the boogeyman gets me?
His mother shakes her head but smiles softly.
The boogeyman doesn't exist, dear. It can't get you. There's nothing to be afraid of.
His closet door creaks open slightly. His mother doesn't seem to notice. Before Billy can open his mouth, his mother begins to shut the door again.
I promise. Now, good night, Billy.
The door clicks shut. Billy is left in silence. He stares, wide awake, at his room. The curtains that billow gently in the night breeze. A pile of clothes in the chair that looks suspiciously like a monster. And his closet, with the door slightly cracked, still. Then, a shadow of movement. A sweater, perhaps. His breathing thickens, and he clutches his blankets tighter. But the shadow spreads, escaping the closet, reaching the wooden floor. The door is pushed open further, and a dark figure emerges, and a pair of white eyes lock with Billy's. Billy starts as if to jump out of bed, but is frozen, paralyzed with fear. All he can do is scream. Interior stage, now. Stage lights illuminate an enormous stage where only one stands alone. Eve Moore, early 20s, colorful, lively, but shadows haunt her eyes, like her sunshine was only just washed away by an unknown storm. Her curls are swept up, but few have escaped their pins, and the tag hides within her slacks, never worn before. Her bow is held delicately, and her other hand curling around the cello rested between her knees. A row of judges watches just below, scribbling notes on clipboards on a wooden table. Eve inhales, exhales, and begins to play. Interior auditorium, then New York City, that same enormous stage, this time full of ballerinas dressed and painted, swans floating across their lake. Eve, a little girl, sits amongst the audience, squirming in her seat, not of impatience, though the ballerinas are not the only thing that has captivated her. She tries to shift to her knees, to look above the audience.
Please, sit still, honey.
Her mother's whispers seem unheard. Eve's eyes find glimmers of wood and string and brass tucked away beneath the stage lights. She watches bows glide across the strings of violins and violas and cellos in their own delicate dance. The audience shifts and stirs, and her sliver of sight is gone, but the symphony is lost but for its sound. Interior music store, later. Eve stands with her mother in a music shop, surrounded by dozens of instruments. She dashes between aisles as if a candy store. She races and points and admires everything she passes. She frees when she sees it, a cello, wooden, polished, gold. She circles around it, tracing her fingers along the body and necks and pegs. Next thing she knows. Interior music class. Eve bounds through the doors, lugging beside her a cello in its case. She sits before a music teacher and learns her first notes. As she plays, she ages. She grows up around her instrument. The notes, her song, grow gradually more complicated and experienced, until interior music pit. Eve is now just reaching her 20s. She plays within a small orchestra accompanying dancers for a community production. One dancer catches her eye, Catherine, strong yet graceful, sturdy, beautiful. And when Catherine's eyes open, they lock with Eve's. Catherine dances to Eve's music, everything else fades away. In that moment, it is just them, the dance and the song. Eve stands from her instrument. The music doesn't stop. She walks over to Catherine alone to watch her dance. Catherine sees her and dances around Eve.
Eve.
Her dance is hypnotizing, as if moving through honey, dizzying and captivating.
Catherine,
The dancer extends her hand, still twirling.
Dance with me?
Eve spins in place, watching her, trying to keep up.
I don't dance.
Shane.
Her voice is as if in a dream. The dance finishes and reality sets back in. Catherine bows with the other dancers. Eve puts her bow away from the strings and breathes. Interior bedroom, morning. In a small apartment bedroom filled with muted colors and not much else, a closet stands open. From it, Eve shifts through the variety of blouses.
Ugh, what today?
Catherine slinks behind her and slips her arms around Eve's torso. Kissing the back of her neck, she rests her chin on Eve's shoulder and inspects their options.
The purple one.
It's a purpley day.
It's a purpley day.
Eve pulls the purple blouse from its hanger and closes the closet door before her. The pair go about their mornings in a routine dance. Catherine starts eggs and toast in the kitchen as Eve dresses. When finished, Eve exchanges Catherine's hairbrush for her breakfast. One eats, one brushes. Then Eve ties her bootlaces, tosses Catherine the keys. Finally, water bottle in hand, Catherine meets Eve at the door.
Ready to go?
Before Eve can respond, her cell phone rings. She groans and opens her purse just enough to see the caller ID, Ida.
Who is it?
Ida.
Ugh, ignore her. She's not worth your time.
I can't believe her. She returns to Connecticut for like, what, a day? She thinks she can jump right back into my life?
No, thank you.
Exactly.
She hits decline. Catherine checks her watch.
Listen, we're going to be late. I'll pick you up at 4. Pizza later?
Ooh, hello, my love.
As in the pizza.
Hey, I'm right here.
The door is pulled open and Eve ends the dance with a kiss.
There we go.
Interior kindergarten classroom day. Paper cutouts of flowers and suns and clouds line the brightly painted walls of the school door. Restless children swing their legs from their chairs, scribble on the wooden desks with crayons. A woman paces back and forth before them, Miss Amber, early 30s, bubbly, overenthusiastic, hopelessly optimistic, most of it rehearsed. Eve walks between the rows of desks, handing everyone a sheet of paper.
Right now, you will see Miss Eve passing out a sheet of paper for each of you. Today we will be drawing what you want to be when you grow up. Does anyone have an idea?
A boy with messy curls and large glasses that slip off his nose raises his hand.
I want to do what my daddy does.
And what does your daddy do?
He works on his computer all day, probably playing video games.
Another boy perks his head up.
I want my job to be video games too.
Miss Amber smiles.
Well, I'm sure your father does more than play video games on his computer. There are careers that allow you to play video games. Miss Eve, when you were their age, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Eve holds the remainder of the papers to her chest as she quietly makes her way to the front of the room.
I wanted to be a cellist. I used to play the cello.
It's almost hard for her to say. A petite girl in the back raises her hand.
Do you still play the cello?
Eve shakes her head.
Not anymore. I haven't touched it in years.
Why'd you stop?
Begin flashback. Interior Eve's bedroom day. Eve, a few years younger, sits on a chair positioned in the middle of her room, her cello between her legs amidst a song. Her audience sits across from her. Catherine, cross-legged on the bed. She rests her back against a duffel bag, pressed against the wall. Catherine applauds when the song ends, and Eve lifts her bow. Then her watch beeps.
Shoot. I gotta go. Practice time. Boo.
Catherine jumps to her feet, lugging the duffel bag over her shoulder. She turns to leave, but
Wait,
Yeah?
I want to come with you.
Catherine grins.
Come on then.
Interior dance studio day. 3 dancers performing practice contemporary routine, all in baggy clothing and barefoot. Catherine among them. Eve watches them, observes their movement, graceful yet abrupt, fluid yet jagged. The 3 dancers are pieces of a puzzle, their dance locking them in place. They bow to Eve as they finish. The other 2 retrieve their water bottles from their bags along the mirrored wall. Catherine strides over and wipes the sweat from her forehead with her wrist.
So, what'd you think?
Eve practically bounces on her heels.
It was so cool. Really, I loved it.
You wanna try?
Maybe something easier?
Catherine takes Eve's hand and holds it above her head so Eve spins. Eve laughs, maybe too hard, completely smitten. They try a simpler dance, and they begin to spend every moment together. Begin montage. Dozens of dates, restaurants, picnics, movie theaters, grocery stores. Eve comes to watch Catherine practice day by day, joins her in a routine. Interior, Eve's bedroom, day. The cello eventually gets pushed into the corner, gradually picks up more and more dust. Eve touches it less and less until interior, Eve's bedroom, later. Catherine and Eve box up the room, moving day. Eve's childhood space, grown out of. The cello waits behind. End of montage. Interior kindergarten classroom, day. The petite girl stares up at her, waiting for a response.
Oh, you know, I discovered I just love to work with you guys.
The girl giggles, satisfied. Interior teacher's lounge. A dull room with round gray tables and metal chairs. Along the back, a refrigerator and a sink. At the furthest table, a teacher sits up with their long black hair half tied up, revealing the headphones in their ears. Crow.
What'd you listen to? You. I mean, in your headphones.
Crow removes an earbud and sticks it in Eve's ear. Low, rhythmic tunes begin to play on strings, her strings. Crow smirks, rolling up their sleeves where tattoos hide beneath. Cool, even in the facade of a children's classroom.
I meant it. You.
They switch off their phone and collect the headphones, rolling them up and slipping the pair into their back pocket. Eve seems speechless, bursting them out with a smile.
Where did you even get that?
You're not that hard to find. I only wish there were more of it.
Eve's eyes settle on her tub of spaghetti, insignificant, not even warm.
Stop that. You know that's not me anymore.
It could be.
We just talked about this in class. How did you?
Crow pulls out a folded flyer from their pocket, pushes the spaghetti up to the side, rests the flyer down in front of her. On the front, New York orchestral auditions.
Eve,
Everything they say, calm, steady, yet intense.
this could be it. This could be your chance. You could finally go professional.
I really appreciate this, but
But what?
even if I still played, I'm nowhere near as good to audition
and make it in the city.
Do I need to pull my headphones out again? Have you heard yourself play?
She shoves the flyer back, playfully.
No, actually I haven't.
Well, then you better start.
Eve falls silent, and it's as if the light inside her dims. Her hands find the zipper on her lunchbox, twisted back and forth. Crow notices.
What else is stopping you?
Well, Catherine, it would put a distance between us, not only physically. I can't do this without her.
Pursuing something that you've loved since you were a child shouldn't put distance between you two. You've got other aspects of your life outside your relationship. This could completely change your life. You could truly be happy.
I am happy.
Are you? When was the last time you saw your mom, your sisters?
Eve's gaze falls to her bag that rests at her feet.
I had a call today, actually.
Well, that's great.
I didn't pick up.
Eve, come on.
I don't need them anymore.
Crow just studies her, their gaze sad and disappointed as if they say, you do. Crow carefully folds the flyer and slides it into her lunchbox.
You have a week to get your act together.
Exterior, schoolhouse, afternoon. Heavy rain, soggy trees, down streets. Eve stands wrapped in a raincoat, pulling a hood over her curls. She shivers. A pair of headlights flash at her through the rain, and a black car pulls up by the curb. Catherine waves at her from the inside. Interior, car, continuous. Catherine's hair has been swept up in a ponytail, her tank top sticking to her skin, a mixture of rain and sweat. She smiles at Eve as she climbs inside, who only watches the rain pour.
Hey, what's with that face?
Eve retrieves the flyer from her lunchbox and unfolds it.
What's that?
A flyer. An orchestral audition in New York.
A pause, and then...
What?
It's like the world is telling me to pick up the cello again. Well, Crow is, at least.
Wow. I mean, wow.
Stunned, hesitant, surprised.
Yeah.
It's in New York City.
Yeah.
You'd have to move.
Windshield wipers fight against the downpour. Rhythmic squeaking combats the tense silence.
We could try long distance.
You know long distance never works out. Plus, I mean, would you even be able to support yourself in New York? The rent there is insane.
You could come with me.
I can't do that. What about my dance studio?
You could continue to pursue dance in the city. Isn't New York a dancer's dream? It could be perfect for us.
It sounds nice, but I don't know. I love my studio, the community we've built. I mean, I don't really like the city.
What? So I'm just supposed to abandon my dream just because you don't like the city? You know what I realized today? I stopped playing music because I was spending all my time doing things with you. I mean, I started dancing. You got your dreams, why can't I have mine?
So now you're blaming me for a forgotten dream? My dream won't tear us apart, Eve. You're my family, I'm your family. Isn't that enough? Is this not enough?
Honk! A massive truck hydroplanes. Headlights blare through the windshield directly towards them. Catherine tries to swerve, tries to brake, and crash. All goes black. End of Act 1. Act 2. Interior hospital room, night. An ensemble of beeping, squeaking, and distant chatter greets Eve as she wakes. A few wounds have been bandaged along her head and arms, but she's generally okay. She blinks, disoriented, taking a moment as the room settles, and then she sees doctors, nurses, and her hospital bed. She sits up in an instant, eyes wide, frantic as she scans the room.
Catherine? Catherine!
She jumps out of bed, pushing past the doctors to try to stop her.
Where is she?
Interior hallway, continuous. Eve sprints out of the room straight to the front desk where a nurse types on her computer. The nurse looks up.
Catherine Woods, what room?
A man's yells sound through the hallway. Eve turns away, dismissing the nurse, following the noise.
Mr. Woods. Mr. Woods.
She runs down the hallway, clumsily, bracing her hand on the wall beside her as support. She continues until she finds a man, stern, furious. Mr. Woods stands, frozen beside a bed where someone lays still, hooked up to several machines.
No. No, no!
Eve bursts into the room where Catherine lays, comatose. The voices that surround her swirl into one.
There must be something else you can do.
A coma is a deep state of unconsciousness that lasts for an indefinite period.
She shouldn't be here at all.
She's lucky to still be alive.
Then her own voice whispers in her head.
Catherine's gone. She's gone. She's gone. She's gone.
She may never wake up.
Interior waiting room. Eve paces around the room, rocks back and forth, spins and kicks and clutches her head and sobs. The room only spins, a blur of chairs and paper gowns and fluorescent lights. Her trembling fingers reach for her phone, luckily still in her purse, propped on a chair beside the hospital bed. She opens it, types a message, and drops it back into the chair. Her knees become her only world as she collapses against the wall and hides her head in her arms. Moments, minutes pass before
Eve? Eve. Oh my god.
Crow rushes into the room, drops to the floor, eye level with Eve. She lifts her head from her knees, tears spilling from her eyes. Crow motions behind them.
They wouldn't tell me anything. What?
There was an accident.
Her voice a mere quiver. It hurts to get the words out. Crow pulls her into a hug.
This truck. The rain.
Eve shakes her head over and over.
All because of those stupid auditions.
Wait, what?
They got us in a fight. We don't fight, that isn't us.
She breaks once again into a sob.
And now I'll never see her again because she may never wake up. And everything happens so fast and I can't lose her. I can't lose her.
Crow squeezes her tight and scans the room. They spot her cell phone on the chair and grab it.
Eve, I think it's time to call your mom.
Eve accepts the phone and stares at its black mirror. It's time. Slowly, she dials a number. It rings. The screen lights up as it meets with the tears on her cheeks. A woman's voice starts through the other end.
Hello? Evie? Mama?
Begin flashback. Exterior gazebo day. A white gazebo stands by a park. Close enough to be part of the scene, yet just far enough to have its own air of privacy. Around it, a curtain of willow trees. Children's laughter meets with bird song, tied together with breeze. Eve and Catherine sit beside one another, watching the two children play a game of tag. One trips, falls, scrapes his knee. His mother jumps from a bench and rushes to his aid. She retrieves the Band-Aid from her purse, kisses it better.
Lucky kid.
For scraping his knee?
Yet getting a kiss.
Come on, I'm sure your mother did that for you.
Too many kids. What's one scraped knee to worry about? She wouldn't notice if I was bleeding from the head. She never noticed.
Catherine watches her, only her.
I'll take care of you.
Eve grins softly.
Really?
Anything.
With a kiss, Catherine tells her, anything you need. End flashback. Interior, Sadie home, night. Inside a two-story suburban home, there are colors everywhere. Oranges, yellows, greens, hand-woven fan hang from the yellow walls, and small straw baskets and wooden carvings decorate bookshelves and countertops, a small slice of Senegal within the suburbia of Connecticut. It should feel bright, full of energy, yet somehow, despite its colors, a shadow hangs over it. Sadie family gathers around the couch, neighboring kitchen table. Ida, 28, and Corinne, 24, Eve's sisters. Sada, 16, Ansu, 10, her brothers. They talk amongst themselves. By the stove, Abeba, 51, Miriam's sister, not actually cooking anything. The front door opens, Eve walks through. She hasn't been home in years. Miriam follows close behind her, lugging a hastily packed suitcase. Its wheels clack against the concrete step below. Ida jumps up and rushes towards them. She retrieves the suitcase from their mother and moves it further into the living room, all the while the room's spilling with questions. Her eyes never leave Eve.
Evie, what happened?
Mama told us you were in a bad accident.
Are you moving back home with us? Does that mean I have to share with Ansu again?
Hey, no fair. Eve can take the couch.
Corinne smacks him on the shoulder.
Ow, what?
Are you okay? Who was driving? Oh, I better give him a peace of mind.
Hush. It is clear Evie does not want to speak right now. I am going to take her to her room. Aviva, maybe you can make some tea for her.
Eve takes the suitcase before her mother can offer to bring it upstairs for her. Her movements are robotic, numb. Ida tries to reach for a hug. Eve shrugs her off. She climbs the wooden stairs, but the voices follow her.
She couldn't stay at that apartment by herself. Not now. She needs family.
Interior, Eve's bedroom, night. Eve's room is small, white paint replacing where yellow used to be. A twin bed is tucked along the black wall where boys' items have begun to make their home. Dirty sweatshirts, a basketball, socks. The room isn't even hers anymore, but one thing in the corner is as it always has been, her cello. Eve leaves the suitcase by the door, approaches her forgotten instrument. She gets sock and video game wires away so she can better reach it. In a basket under the bed, unchanged, she finds her bow. She returns to the cello, wraps her fingers around its neck. She positions the bow, just inches from the strings, but hesitates. It would be horribly out of tune by now. But what if? She begins to play. And it is horrible. Off-tune, screeching fills the room, and Eve pulls the bow away, almost laughs at herself, if laughing is possible anymore. She adjusts the pegs and tries again. Better. So she plays whatever she can muster, a mixture of melodic sorrow and screeching regret and dissonance of pain. And she plays until she cannot play any longer, so she just collapses onto the bed and closes her eyes and slips away. The music doesn't stop, nor do her tears. Dream sequence. Interior, unknown. Unknown. Blackness.
What do you want?
Shadows.
Her. To see her again.
What's stopping you?
Handprints. Silt. Water. Dripping. Draining.
She's asleep.
So are you.
So am I.
Exterior. Beach. Day. Waves crash onto the shore, washing away the sound of strings and whispers. The disembodied voice fades into a woman's, Catherine's.
I'm right here.
The pair sit together on a beach blanket, a ways away from the shore. Eve blinks away the sunlight, tries to breathe in the salty air, but she can't. Her lungs are tight, her heart aches.
Hey, look at me. It'll be okay. It's just a panic attack. You're safe with me.
Catherine's hand finds Eve's and she squeezes it and then doesn't let go. They sit in silence together, but slowly, but surely, Eve's breathing calms. Eve watches her in amazement. They've been here before. Catherine doesn't realize. She blinks in surprise, a grin lighting up her face.
What?
You're here.
Of course I am. Where else would I be?
But then the tide retreats, escaping the shore, moving vertically as if climbing the sky. Eve looks down and sand swiftly turns to bricks that ripple beneath them.
What?
She looks up for Catherine, but Catherine is no longer there. The beach melts away into an old brick road and the dream changes. End dream sequence. Interior, teacher's lounge, day. Eve looks as if she hasn't slept for years, her curls with their own personalities and eyes sinking into dark circles. She joins Crow at lunch, who watches her in disbelief.
No. Okay, get this. So Catherine's in a coma, yeah? And I see those, and I've seen those movies and everything. How coma patients are able to hear when people in real life come to talk to them. But of course they can't respond. No, obviously not. Because they're in a coma, obviously. But
Eve, why are you here?
I've had this revelation. I had a dream. I dreamt about Catherine. And it felt so real. Like it wasn't just a dream. But it was. It was a memory. But in the dream, of course, it was real life again. And so I realized I can still talk to her. I can still be with her in my dreams.
Eve, that's not really her. It was just a dream.
I know. But it felt real. But what if it wasn't just a dream? Maybe this is actually how I can communicate with her through my dreams. Like we're telepathic or something.
Crow stands and places her hands on Eve's shoulders.
I'm getting you home.
What? No. I'm serious. Everything I'm saying.
I know. That's why you should not be at work right now. You just went through a traumatic experience and you're grieving.
Eve bites her lip and buries her head in her hands.
I guess you're right.
I usually am.
Interior, the Sadie home, day. The home is slightly brighter than before. The stove is alight, Abeba throwing an array of spices into a pan. Ida and Corian sit together at the kitchen table, blowing into cups of tea their mother brings them. They all look up as Eve comes to the front door.
What are you doing home so early?
I was sent home.
I told you, you should not have gone in at all.
Yeah. I'm gonna go lie down, Mama.
Abeba waves her spatula in their direction.
But food always makes us feel better.
Ida chases Eve toward the stairs.
Evie, I think we should take some time to talk.
I'm going upstairs.
Ida reveals the auditions flyer from her back pocket. She holds it out to Eve.
Why didn't you mention this? This is great.
Whatever light was in Eve's eyes goes out. The flyer, the one that caused the accident.
You went through my bag.
Eve, this could be life-changing for you.
Eve's glare cuts skin. It fights back her tears.
You know what else was life-changing? Waking up and finding you gone.
Ida's jaw drops, but Eve has already disappeared up the stairs before she could even have a chance to respond. Interior, bedroom, day. Eve bursts into the bedroom, hastily shutting the door behind her. She grabs the window curtains, yanks them closed. It doesn't block out all the daylight, but it's good enough. Then she slips under the covers and buries her head under the blankets. She tosses and turns and dream sequence. Exterior, high school, day. The high school materializes around Eve. She stands alone in an empty hallway lined with lockers. Oh, not empty. A student races down the hallway with a backpack in hand and a skateboard in the other. The bell rings. A backpack weighs on Eve's shoulders as if it has just appeared there.
Belle, I'm late for class.
She starts off down the hallway, which doesn't seem to get any shorter.
Shoot, which classroom am I in again?
But she doesn't need to find it, because suddenly she's at a desk, a pop quiz in front of her. She scans the quiz, which is nonsensical math questions.
Shoot, I didn't study.
Bell rings again.
Time's up.
The quiz is snatched away from her by a faceless teacher.
Good luck finding your bus. They're already leaving without you.
Through the window, the buses begin exiting the parking lot. Eve jumps from her desk.
No, wait!
End dream sequence. Interior Eve's bedroom, night. Eve wakes. The sliver of daylight from the window has set into night. Laughter can be heard from downstairs. Her siblings have returned from school. Eve groans.
Oh, that was wildly unsuccessful.
She pulls the covers back over her head and drifts off to sleep once more. Dream sequence. A series of quick dreams, all blending in and out of one another. Exterior, grassy field, day. Eve runs from something, but her feet move like molasses. The grass melts away into exterior sky, continuous. A wide expanse of sky, and she flies, her arms feathered bird wings. The sky shifts into exterior rooftop, continuous. A skyscraper, and the feathers dissolve like flame, claiming paper, and she falls, exterior, unknown, continuous, until there's nothing, blackness. Eve stands and water drips down her legs, rippling the black water around her toes. In the void, it seems as though there is something in the distance. She squints at it and begins walking. It grows into a gazebo.
I see what you're doing.
Eve is not alone in the nothingness. She turns, and a little boy stands, watching her. Billy.
You're looking for someone.
His voice echoes, the air thick. Even the nothingness isn't stable. Eve turns around, but the darkness goes on and on and on.
You saw her in a dream once, and you're trying to find your way back.
It takes a moment for Eve to register the words, like her brain is waking up, or sleeping still.
Yes, exactly. How did you...
Most people find it hard to control their dreams.
She takes a step closer. Is this really a little boy?
Lucid dreaming is a skill. It takes practice.
Lucid dreaming?
It's like waking up when you're asleep, becoming aware.
Billy vanishes.
Of your dream.
For a moment, his voice seems almost monstrous. Eve feels his breath on the back of her neck, but when she turns, a little boy looks up at her.
You can then take control. Control your own reality.
In between the columns of the gazebo, the nothingness ripples with color. Images of the outside world, grass, flowers, the ocean, Catherine. Mesmerized, Eve wades towards the shifting colors, which flash across her eyes, illuminates her skin. She presses her hand through the images, her body following suit.
Then you will find her.
Exterior stage, continuous. It's as if she emerges from water. Suddenly, everything stabilizes, everything clears, and Catherine is there.
Catherine.
Catherine stands at a distance, her back turned. She hears the voice and looks over. Eve starts towards her, but at the first step, the world warps.
Catherine.
Her partner turns fully towards her, and Eve breaks into a sprint. With each step, the world around her ripples, splits. Eve reaches out, her fingertips brushing Catherine's cheek. Her finger passes through her like a ghost, and Catherine is pulled away with the world.
No!
End dream sequence. Interior bedroom. Eve waits with a start, sits up, looks frantically around her room. The breathing calms as reality settles, and she slams her fist under the bed.
No! Ugh. No.
She lays back onto her pillow and sobs. Interior hospital room, day. Catherine lays, still, a heart monitor harmonizing with her breathing. A doctor guides Eve inside.
Go ahead, I'll give you a few minutes.
Thank you.
The door clicks behind him as he sits. Eve pulls up a chair and sits beside her, scooting so close to the edge that her knees squish against the bed frame. Awkwardly, Eve takes Catherine's hand.
Hey.
She watches Catherine's face, bandaged from gashes, yet somehow peaceful.
This may sound completely ridiculous. No, I know it does. But I'm trying to reach you in my dreams.
Eve pauses as if waiting for a response.
I only truly dreamed about you once. I know it was just a dream, but it just felt so real, you know? Even if it was just a dream, it brings me that much closer to you, and that's what matters, I guess.
She shakes her head, a lie.
Anyway, I've been doing some research.
Begin montage. Interior kindergarten classroom, day. Miss Amber stands at the front of the classroom full of kids writing letters and words on the whiteboard. Eve pretends to watch in the back while typing away on her computer. She scrolls through website after website. Psychologists explaining dream interpretation, multidimensional dream theories, everything on lucid dreaming.
Apparently, to lucid dream, to become aware of your dreams.
Interior, the Sadie home, bathroom, day. Eve stares at herself in the mirror.
Am I dreaming?
Her voice is merely an echo. She presses her hand to the glass, solid.
We've got to reality test.
Interior, Eve's bedroom, night. Eve lays in bed, watching the face of an alarm clock. Its hands move steady. Tick, tick, tick.
And you ask yourself that. throughout the day.
Exterior, the Sadie home day. Eve joins Sada and Ansu in a basketball game in their driveway. Eve makes a basket.
Am I dreaming?
Ida watches from the window. Her eyes burn.
Because eventually, you'll begin to reality check while asleep.
Interior, Eve's bedroom, night. Over and over and over, Eve wakes. Each time a failure. Each time she grows more and more frustrated, angry, hopeless.
And if you're able to do that...
Dream sequence, unknown, gazebo. The darkness stretches around her.
Am I dreaming?
Yes.
Well, then you may be able to manipulate, control your own dream.
End montage. Interior, hospital room, continuous. Eve still holds Catherine's hand.
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet, but if by some chance I'm not crazy and they could be real, well then, meet me at the gazebo?
End of Act 2. Act 3. Exterior, gazebo, evening. Eve walks alone along the path, past the children chasing each other in the grass, past their parents surveying. She does not climb the wooden steps, she does not enter the gazebo, she just stands and watches. The gazebo, identical to the one in the black nothingness, the one place that connects reality and her dreams.
Am I dreaming?
A breeze answers the question.
Not yet.
Interior, Eve's bedroom, night. Eve lays in bed, stares at the ceiling, her eyes close, and she whispers to herself.
The gazebo. The gazebo.
Dream sequence. Interior, dream realm. As she's falling, a tornado of colors, textures, lights, they swirl around her, an ocean of honey until interior kindergarten classroom day. Her classroom materializes. Miss Amber, nearly faceless, half the children missing. Eve stands in the front of the class, a stack of parchment paper in her arms, ready to pass out to everyone. She looks up at the clock, and its numbers are all out of order.
Wait, am I dreaming?
She touches a window, examining her warped reflection, and her hand goes through.
Yes. Wait. No. Catherine, the gazebo.
She closes her eyes, exhales.
The gazebo. The gazebo.
And the classroom shifts around her. Interior, unknown, gazebo. When she opens her eyes, the classroom is gone, and she is alone in the gazebo, just the same as the one in the park, only with water lapping at the pane. A grin spreads across Eve's face. She did it.
You made it.
Eve spins to find Catherine stepping onto the wooden platform.
You heard me.
Always.
Within the columns of the structure, bubbles of light bloom, portals. She spins slowly, watching the light swirl with color and mist.
Choose one. Choose our dream.
That's all it takes?
Catherine nods. Eve takes Catherine's hand and approaches the center portal.
Well, then, let's go.
Eve touches the light, and off they fly. Exterior, Paris, rooftop, night. An iron table waits on a rooftop, complete with a tablecloth, a vase of roses, and candles. The full moon shines with the Eiffel Tower, the perfect view. Catherine steps into light in a sleek black evening gown, Eve in purple.
Really? Paris?
If this is a dream, we can go anywhere, right?
Eve spins with her arms outstretched, breathing in the night air.
I'm pretty sure Paris is only like this in the movies.
Well, this is better than the movies.
Eve takes Catherine in a tight hug, breathes her in, kisses her. When she pulls away, she playfully guides Catherine to the table. Slices of pizza now fill their plates.
We never did get our pizza.
This is incredible. You are incredible.
Eve takes a bite of her slice.
This pizza is incredible.
They laugh. Eve waits until the laughter fades.
I'm sorry. I hate the way things ended. I couldn't live with myself if you'd...
She bites her lip.
If that was our last conversation ever. You are enough.
Catherine takes her hand.
Hey, I'm here. I may not be able to talk out there, but I'm still here.
Yeah.
Come on.
Catherine stands, pulls Eve with her, guides her into a dance.
I guess I'm all right at dancing if I don't think too much about it.
The dance slows, and Eve rests her head on Catherine's shoulder.
This is perfect. I never want to leave.
Then stay.
As if on cue, the world begins to slip away. Eve clasps onto Catherine tighter.
No, not yet. Come on.
But her pleas fail her. Interior, bedroom, morning. Eve wakes with tears flowing down her cheeks. The dirty sweatshirts and socks have been kicked off the bed, leaving a pile of her brother's things cluttering the wooden floor. But at least the bed's clean. Eve sprawls out on the bed, taking up as much space as she can in the little space that there is. The ceiling is her only friend. She bites her lip and looks at her cello in the corner, contemplating. A knock sounds at the door. She barely stirs. The door creeps open, and Ida's face pops through.
Welcome home.
Gentle, concerned. When Eve offers no response, Ida pushes her way into the room and sits on the foot of her bed.
heard you playing that night.
She nods towards the cello and waits for an acknowledgement. It never comes.
It was beautiful. I haven't heard you play like that in forever.
Finally, Eve inhales slowly.
You were never there to listen.
Eve.
Eve's eyes well with tears quietly fall. She doesn't wipe them away.
I haven't played like that at all since...
I know.
The silence dances heavy between them. Eve shifts, turning away from her sister. She had only the wall to look at. Easy.
Listen, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for leaving.
Eve's tears only fall harder.
I know it was hard for you. Believe me, it was hard for me too.
At this, Eve sits up, faces her sister.
You weren't the one abandoned.
I understand how that must have felt.
No. How could you? You were the one who left.
But I think you're being unfair.
Unfair? Talk to me about being unfair.
I'm your sister, Eve. Of course I took care of you. You were my best friend. But I couldn't just stay here acting like a second mother. I wanted to go to school. I wanted a life.
Silence returns.
You could have at least told me beforehand.
I know, I should have handled it better, but I can't change the past.
Yeah.
Loud banter explodes from the kitchen, a spat between Miriam and Abeba in French about the correct spices for her dish.
And you might want to be nicer to Mama. 6 kids in one house is a lot. She might not have known it very well, or she might not have shown it very well, but she loves you.
Eve nods, releases her breath.
Thank you. It's nice to hear that sometimes.
Ida reaches her arms out towards Eve. A question.
I know.
The hug is accepted as Eve squeezes her sister back.
I really missed you.
I missed you too, Evie.
She retrieves the flyer from her pocket again. She reveals it, unsure if she should.
You really should try.
Eve doesn't say no. Interior kitchen, day. Eve enters the kitchen. Abeba makes crepes at the stove. Ida, Corin, Sada, and Ansu gather around the table. Miriam beams at the sight of Eve joining them and hurries a cup of tea over to her.
Good morning, Mama.
My baby, I'm so happy you are joining us.
Eve returns a shy smile.
Me too.
She sits back and watches the family come to life, talking over one another.
Now, who wants the first crib?
Me.
No, me.
I let Mama have the first. Give that back.
What you reading?
I think we should get a dog.
Exterior, Eve's bedroom, day. Her bedroom is slightly bigger than she remembers. Eve pulls the cello from its corner, admires it, and she begins to play. Interior, stage, now. Eve sits alone on that New York stage playing her song, a melody of highs and lows, a race against time, a crawl. Finally, she pulls away, bow in the air, her eyes blinking through the bright lights fixated upon her. Her song is finished.
Thank you. We will let you know.
Interior, Eve's bedroom, night. She tries to be as quiet as possible, lugging her cello through the doorway. She's only half successful. Exhausted, she doesn't even bother to change. She just jumps straight into bed. Mumbles of Catherine fill her head. Dream sequence. Unknown, gazebo. The gazebo stands alone in the vast black space. Eve starts towards the gazebo and climbs the few steps onto the wooden platform.
You shouldn't be here.
The surprise on Eve's face is obvious, expecting Catherine's voice instead of his.
Oh, it's you again.
Again?
Yeah, I've spoken to you before. You told me about lucid dreaming.
That wasn't me.
The colors between the columns shift, flicker. Eve turns again and steps forward, reaching towards the center portal. Right before her fingers graze the light, she pauses.
This is all just a dream, isn't it?
Silence. Eve faces the boy.
Everyone out there, everyone told me this is just a dream.
Do you believe me?
Eve pauses like she's unsure how to respond.
I don't really have a choice. I mean, it all feels so real. But in the end, I always wake up.
You won't always.
With that, the water begins to cascade around her ankles, and as if the world has begun to tilt, the gazebo, the boy, begin to slip away.
No, wait. What do you mean by that?
Billy yells, only a disembodied echo.
He'll trap you here. He'll trap you here.
Who?
And Eve gets pulled away with the dream. End dream sequence. Interior bedroom, night. In the dead of night, Eve wakes. The silence that surrounds her is deafening. The white of ceiling stretches out before her as she lays flat on her back, arms glued to her sides as if in a coffin. She tries to stir. Nothing. Shadows infect the darkness. Her breathing quickens and she tries to move again. Still nothing. Whimpers escape her lips, paralyzed. The shadows draw closer until a pair of eyes lock with hers. Pure white, surrounded with nothing but blackness and shadow. Her breath catches, and within her frozen limbs, her body trembles. and the boogeyman watches. End of Act 3.
Excellent. Okay, so that's the only script you presented today?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so let's have another round of applause for Tyler. And for the cast as well. So I'm Tommy, I'm the head of screenwriting concentration. I didn't teach this class this semester, but I'm going to be doing the Q&A. So I'm kind of infamous in the ethics class for asking the first question, so I'm not going to ask the first question today, since that class is actually here. Does anybody want to kick us off with the first question? Or the first comment?
You ate, girl.
Yeah, it was so good.
Who said
With your
that?
3 lines, you did.
Okay, well, I will live up to my reputation. So, I'd like to know, I had not read the script or seen it previously. So, when it starts with that teaser of sorts that involves Billy, and then the script goes a long time without mentioning, did it always start that way, or did you go back and add that to bring the two plots together?
The beginning started that?
You want to stand up,
okay.
sir, right?
Oh, man. Oh, stand.
Let me put you on the spot.
What? Oh, okay. I think the beginning did start that way.
Okay.
And then I did add more Billy throughout. So he wasn't part of the original plan, but then he was, like, as I built the story more.
Okay. I think it was a good choice.
Okay, thank you.
Did you all that were here from the beginning, were you wondering where Billy was going to pop up again?
I was.
Yeah, and that kept you invested in it, right?
I was like, is he Billy? No, no, he's
Yeah, it's like, what is the twist going to be,
Write it down.
right?
Maybe use Billy.
Maybe
I'm gonna write that down. Maybe use Billy.
What is the total page count on this script?
43.
So that's kind of somewhere between the short and the feature. Do you feel like if you produced this, would you write a longer version of it to make a feature, or what are your thoughts on that?
Series.
Oh, so this is the first, this is the pilot?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense.
Very packed.
Oh, so the cast is just finding out as well?
Yeah.
It's packed.
So if you all were the cast, you'd have continuing jobs.
Oh, yes. Yes.
No, literally,
Thank you, Tyler.
I think it's 2 hours pilot.
I was just going to
Yeah.
I'll be the,
Yeah, I got it.
There was one that was like slow
Hey man, I'll be curly.
that definitely gives me a question for you all. In series writing, when you get to the end of the pilot, the question is always, what are the 10 things you must know? Like, what are the 10 questions that this left you with that you have to keep watching to find out? What are the big questions that you have that you think a future episode should address?
Kind of knowing if E is like actually talking to Catherine, if it's just like a version of Catherine in their head that they think that they're talking to.
Okay.
I don't know if it's like they're just like imagining, like in their dream that they're talking to Catherine, who's not actually the one who's in the coma.
And right now, it could go either way.
Yeah.
Or it could be some other mystical thing.
Could be the boogeyman.
Right. Jordan.
Again, like bouncing off of your question, if it is Catherine, like she's always like in a dream. So like, I guess she's like comatose. So like, where does she go when she's like not at the gazebo or in this dream world? Does like the boogeyman have like total access to her? That's scary. Also, is that like a demon or something? What's going on?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Like,
Fair enough.
that's a lot of things. I was talking about the boogeyman specifically, because that's specifically like, it's an already existing folklore. So like, I sort of just, I did a lot of research on the boogeyman, like the origins, and the boogeyman was a serial killer.
Oh.
But there's like different versions in different like countries and stuff. So it's like, whatever you think the boogeyman is.
So, the first thing after reading through it, it's like, what's the boogeyman's goal, right? Is he just here to trap people? Does he torture them? Like, does he feed off of this energy, off getting these people here? And then Catherine, for her, like, for the future, I guess, episodes, does she try to escape? Does she work with Billy? Does she work with the other people that are there? Like or do they just get trapped?
So, have you seen Coraline?
No.
Why was I
Think
Okay.
about it. No,
Okay.
that was like a bad
Okay.
And yes, Catherine is going to try to escape, but since she's like always in the dream world, like she isn't going to be able to. What?
Oh, dang,
Sick.
Canceled.
Tragic.
I think Catherine has a comment about that.
Yeah, that is a spoil. You're telling me you wanted me to watch Coraline and then you just spoil it right
No,
here.
that wasn't.
That was for this.
Oh, okay,
Coraline
never
came out
mind.
in like 2000.
Also,
I don't want to let how it ends. Oh, okay. Well, apparently I could say.
Yeah, don't say it.
Okay.
But no, my
we should
question is
watch
like,
Coraline.
does Billy ever actually like wake up? Like, what is his whole deal? You know, because we see him when he's going to sleep, but then at the end it's like you're trapped. So what is going on with Billy?
You know, that's for episode 2.
come back tomorrow for reading of episode 2.
And unfortunately, there's a writer's strike right now, so we might I think Blake had a question, I think.
Oh, I was actually gonna ask if Billy was like in a coma too, or like.
Okay, so, and this is good feedback for you, you know what's on people's minds,
Yes.
you know, so, yes.
To kind of go off your question, I think one of the questions I have is regarding the arcs of these characters. By the end, will she kind of remove herself from this dream world? Because obviously there's this plot of her having more opportunities in her like waking life.
Yeah. During the course of the show, she's going to become like increasingly attached to the dreams to the point where she favors dreams more than reality, and then so by the end she will have to get back to reality.
Black Mirror.
I
Except
love
it's not
Black Mirror.
technology.
Yeah,
but
I
it's
know.
just dreams. Yeah, let's do like that.
When you're pitching this, do you lead with a genre? Do you say supernatural? Do you say horror? Do you say romance? Like, there are a lot of different genres in it.
I sort of say horror.
Okay,
Yeah.
makes it very marketable.
Yeah, and definitely there's a lot of romance. So, but it's less because they have a codependent relationship, so it's not really like it's not necessarily romantic.
Right.
Like there are romantic pieces, but like ultimately the relationship is not healthy.
You wonder, are they good for each other?
Yeah.
And that, I think that definitely came through. Are there any other questions or comments? Yes.
I loved your use of vivid imagery.
Oh, thank you.
Your word craftsmanship really gave me a sense of the scene and what was happening, and your descriptors were great.
I'm glad to hear that. Thank you.
Yeah, it was very easy to visualize, I thought. Yes.
To go off of that, the little like notes, like the stuff that like a viewer wouldn't see, but like us reading the script saw, those were funny. Like the like, oh yes, my love, pizza by the way. Like the stuff like that, I was like, that's funny.
I think they did a good job at reading those lines.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, may have seen another hand somewhere. All right, do you have any final comments or questions for us?
I really just wanted to know what you would expect for the next episode or the remainder of the season, which was already sort of answered.
A lot of sadness. I just feel like it's going to be a lot of sadness.
You'll get it.
Thank you.
Of course.
That was easy. Yeah.
I was going to say that I think you've done a really amazing job with sort of building up the subplots, like the cello, and then there's tension with the family, and so it's very easy to like sort of expect that there's going to be maybe some dabbling with returning to playing the cello, and then sort of breaking the tension with the sister and reuniting with the family. So that was really good.
Thank you. Hi, Catherine.
I have an amateur comment on what I would like to see from the plot.
Okay.
I want Catherine to be a villain. I want her to deliberately try to get Eve to be
Whoever
stuck in the
said-
dream
No,
world
that's
so that she never has to leave.
And now
Catherine
we have
is
the correct prediction.
Yes! Okay. I want Catherine to be a bad
Watch Inception and just make sure you just distinguish it enough from that. I mean, it's already a different enough story, but that theme in particular.
Yeah, I discovered some after I was watching this, and so when I did watch it, I was like, shoot.
Yeah, but it's
I knew I hated that bitch for a reason. Rancid vibes. Now vibes. I'm glad you're comatose. Good for somebody pull the plug. I want the room to know I sensed it.
She's going to be the villain later on because the boogeyman will like infect her as she stays that.
I don't think Jordan cares.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, good riddance. You know?
Like you want to say, like the boogeyman uses code to trigger.
Yeah.
And they're like coming back.
Boogeyman's in there too. Let me
That's
go ahead.
Like the kind of conception is he like let them out of the comatose state to go do his bidding. No.
I am not super familiar with Inception.
I would say watch Inception and watch a movie called Hillary and Jackie, which is about specifically, do you continue to play the cello or not? It's like from the late 90s. Hillary and Jackie and Inception.
Okay.
You can say, this is Inception beats Hillary and Jackie.
Okay, that's good to know.
Nick, final question?
Oh, well, I just was gonna, like, not a question, but like what I need to see in the future episodes is like, I don't want to see what's up with the boogeyman. I want to see like what his whole deal is. Like, I noticed that you purposely didn't describe, the only thing you described about him was his eyes. And I'm curious to see like physically what he looks like. And I want to see like, I want to see him talk to someone. I want to see his whole situation.
We need like a Vecna backstory.
Yeah, we need a Vecna episode.
Yeah.
Good thing you thought of Stranger Things. You
No,
are
yeah,
right.
that's literally
We're right here.
Yeah, I guess my final question, is this TVMA? Is this TV14? Is this, how wide an audience are we talking?
We talk HBO, we're talking ABC.
I know HBO.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pay TV.
Because the Stranger Things audience,
Oh, looking at
bigger
MC.
audience. All right, thank you, everybody.
For your future cast, I don't know. We'll have an original.
I'm gonna sell this one thing. That's gonna be worth a lot of money.
Is that one of the
I thought so. Not website.
I'll just get a picture right now and here and then I'll sell it. Actually, in the future, when I'm famous. I played a little more.
Yeah, I've read it before, but it was great.
Did you like the stuff I added?
the thing about the video game?
Yeah.
You didn't check
Also, like, you do like
It was such a good script. Like the entire time I was reading it, like in the middle. I did. There was one where it was like it was she, but it was duh. And like I read it and looked over and I saw you.
You're like laughing every single
Maybe you were dreaming.
I know there was one time where I was like, I don't know, I looked at it and I was like, where's the narrator? I was like, oh shit. Hold on.
Yeah.